tWoTcast, episode 422. No, he doesn't. No. Okay.
All right, everyone, shut the up. Let's ready to record.
We like to start every show by yelling, "We are tWoTcast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go. We are tWoTcast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time, re-read podcast. Explicit and R, freaking rated. Jono's the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are Hey.
You're viewing tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time re-read podcast, now covering The Shadow Rising.
Yes.
With me, as always, is Jono.
Jono.
Hey, Jono.
Hi,
And
Yoey.
Tom's here. Taffy Bennington, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Taffy.
Hi,
Hello,
Taffy.
fellow tWoTcast fans. We have a lot to cover this evening.
I mean,
Do we? Do we?
some big stuff.
For the fan club newsletter is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, the fan club.
Oh,
For MySpace.
it gets me every time.
You can find that fan club newsletter over on myspace.com/tWoTcast. This is the new Twitter of time. That's the slogan. This is the new Twitter of time. And also www.myspace.com/thaffy. The only two people currently.
The only place you can
on
find me
MySpace.
online. It's my only
Yeah.
active page, yes.
It's the only place. That's where the conversation's happening. If you're not there, you're behind. You know?
And you're square. And kill yourself. But other than that, stay tuned here as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Are you wearing headphones, Jono?
I've been wearing the. I got a
They
haircut.
are a little strange.
You got a very nice haircut.
Yeah, it's
a little
all-
bit of a
you're
faux
shorn.
on the top.
You're shorn, Jono.
You should my shorn scrotum. It's breathtaking. I assure you.
Just
no.
sluts.
Hey,
Toby.
That's everybody. Yeah.
What up, all you twats? Hey,
Hello.
Glenn.
Hello.
Oh, good evening. Oh, hit that. Oh, thanks, Glenn. You're always on top of that more than I am.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. I already hit that like button while I was waiting.
Hola, amigos.
I hit it from the front and the back.
Good job.
Let's ready to record.
Yeah.
That is, by the way, it's a sleeper. It's a sleeper line, but it's my favorite line in the entire intro. Because Jono's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
drunk at a live show, and he's like, "Let's record." It's the best.
So,
If there's a perfect soundbite of how we are in real life at JordanCon in a live show, that's it right there.
that doesn't sound right. Because I don't remember it.
Live shows are a shit show. Usually Jono's like, "Oh, let's record." Is Hallie a fellow West Coaster? Yes, she is.
Yes.
But she can't
Yeah.
reveal where, other than the
But
space
it's east of
satellite.
here.
How long is Tom going to be gone? I don't know.
Not long enough.
Forever.
Yeah. Still not long enough.
John, you
Tom
miss him so
Tucker,
bad.
Eventually. Right now, he's barely talking. I think he's responded to like 2 texts in the last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a bunch of pictures. He
Really?
responds to me.
Oh.
Shit.
Wow.
Him and his wife. So
It doesn't help that I did tell
His
him, like,
wife.
hey, it's your intro tonight. And
It's
he,
really just Tom on 2 phones. Shit, I gotta make this sound like a different person.
I love that idea.
I mean,
so
yeah, live shows are chaotic as an excuse. Yeah, sure. But we're usually extra drunk. You know.
Yeah.
It's hard to
yeah.
explain.
the level of professionalism is low, as you very shockingly hear.
Well, you guys start drinking at like 10 a.m. at the con, so
That's a lie.
She missed the episode. Tom's wife had a baby. Tom didn't do anything.
Yeah, Tom did. Well, Tom may
Tom
have
had a
done
second
something.
child at the ripe old age of 58.
Oh, yeah. We can't
I don't know how old
confirm
is
that
Tom.
either. Yeah.
How old's Tom? I don't know.
Right before he got her pregnant, he did ask for 3 loads of my semen, which I found was weird.
That was weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's sealed and
I
chilled.
wonder what he did with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He also
He
tucked
pro-
it into his cheek afterwards. That was
Yeah, he
strange.
probably just drank it.
He just kept it in his mouth like a
Yeah.
squirrel saving it for winter.
Yeah.
Chewing tobacco.
It's a reverse cream. I guess it's forward cream pie, but
I mean, it's a
reverse.
forward. Yeah.
Hmm.
Tom will be back
You know,
after the
yeah.
newest season ends, so he won't have to talk about it. That is
That's also true. Yeah. This is
shockingly
very
close to reality. You wouldn't.
so.
You know.
We looked at their they had like the rhythm bingo, if you will, of when she was going to presumably be ovulating and all that. And he circled only a couple months for when they would possibly have sex, all of which had a 9-month readout right around now, so he would be on the show. Yeah. This man
The baby's
I believe it.
a false flag effort.
Yeah,
Watch
it's
the
just
show.
to get away from this. I'm having to talk about the twat show.
Interesting squirrel fact: they do save sperm.
I'm gonna start calling my wife.
That's
Oh
awesome.
fuck! I'm
Yeah.
glad that Tom didn't do anything. I beg to differ. He had to go through all the trouble to book that flight for his wife. That's true. I forget what the joke was.
Oh, that's
Something
right.
about
It's
something about booking a flight the night
all
of
the pregnant
instead of
ladies on
taking
the
to her
plane.
hospital.
The pregnant ladies on the plane.
I mean,
snake
I do
ladies.
like hearing Tom's raving takes on the show. Who does?
We all do. We all do.
We're not happy that he doesn't want to do it. Don't get us wrong. Yeah.
Also, I just realized I sound like Macaulay Culkin. We all do.
We're real safe the nut. Oh man. Oh, baby's on a plane. Oh yeah, I was gonna make a short video of that.
Maybe you shouldn't do this while drunk, Joe.
I mean, I remember the baby's on a plane joke. Just not how we got there.
Yeah.
All right, this is our episode covering The Shadow Rising. But I guess do you want to talk about show stuff first? What are we doing?
Yeah, let's talk about show stuff first. And I had an idea for an amazing recurring segment whenever we felt like it. It was going to be called Jono's Costume Ideas.
Okay, I love it.
I wish you had told me. I would have prepared something.
Oh no, you don't need to. You could do it next time.
There's 9. There's so far in the series of character recaps. There's 9 of them. I don't think we need to cover all 9 because I feel like it's only Rand and Moraine and maybe Swan left to do.
There was one for Nynaeve today.
Yeah, so Nynaeve was today. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is let's maybe save a few for next week. Like, I mean, there's 9, so like we could do 6. Who do you guys want to talk about?
I like 6.
We have Perrin, Matt, Lanfear, Lan, Egwene, Min, Elaine, Avienda, Nynaeve.
Familiar with a couple of those characters. Let's do 6.
Which one? Pick one.
Number 6.
Number 6. I don't have a
number 6.
Say a name.
The 6th one that you just mentioned.
fucking said.
One in alphabetical order is Matt.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm Donald Finn with a refresher on where we left Matt in the Wheel of Time. In season 2, Matt spent a lot of time in captivity.
Very well done, Matt.
Seems that no one trusted him after that dagger situation. He makes a new friend with Min.
So you're the possum that's been scratching at my wall.
Lots of visions ensued. He came face to face with an old friend again. Mate, you look bloody awful. And he blew the horn of the leer. All in all, quite a season. Let's roll the dice again in season 3, shall we?
So I forgot I was muted. I made a lot of noises. Probably for the best I was muted. Like first off,
we're not talking over them.
Yeah. Oh, why not?
Hey, no.
His beard looks terrible on that front image, which also is, of course, a veil. Secondly, that fucking horn of Alir. God damn it. Every time I see it.
Well, so most of that's recap of where they all of these are recaps of where they were. But like, what are you guys excited about for Matt in season 3? Let's do that for
actually
a
plot. Like a plot, and maybe like a real Ashendari and not a stick dagger combo.
Yeah, do you think the horn is gonna like end up with the dagger back in Tarvalon like it was supposed to be the last time, maybe?
I'm not smart enough to make guesses based on this series, and that's not necessarily an insult so much as we're kind of admittedly off track. Like they obviously know that, and they're trying to kind of come on back in. So let's. I'm going to stop trying to make assumptions or guesses, and I'm going to say, but I'm still going to make one anyway. So no, the answer is no.
Okay.
You don't think so? He's keeping hold of the dagger.
Yeah.
Seems dangerous.
I think he's not going to keep the dagger necessarily, but it's not going back to the tower.
Okay. I reject the idea Matt is a hero of the horn. I mean, I reject plenty of what the show is put across. But I mean, it's in the show, so I mean that's Taffy, what do you think Matt's getting into in season 3? Obviously he's into Chico with the girls, which is completely
correct.
Not where he should be. But
East Coast,
so it's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect.
I'm excited for Twisted Doorways. I'm pretty sure there's been confirmation we're getting that. At least one. That'll be cool.
I think
but that doesn't mean he's going to have anything to do with it, right?
That's true.
I don't know. I mean,
I think he will because I think Rand and Moraine are going to do their thing in Rowidian, and he's going to be the only one to have done it. I don't think they're going to do that.
Doorway.
You think Moraine will have nothing to do with that at all?
Yes.
All three characters you mentioned enter.
I feel like he's going to find the doorway in Tanchico with the girls where like the Sadlets are, and he's going to go in there.
Okay.
Versus that's the Stoneatier, where they hoard all the shit. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, again, it's really hard to guess. It's not just I don't want to fucking rip on the show, even though it made it easy. I literally just can't make divinations that would be sensical, other than this is what happened already in book 4, so why not? There's a lot of weirdness to kind of track even halfway back on the plot, assuming that's even where they want to end up. I mean, obviously that's a big assumption there, that they actually want to follow a little closer to the plot that we know. So
I did see something. There was a lot of cast interviews as well. And Rosamund was saying that they would like to cover Tyr in the next season, after they've had more time to introduce the Isle, which kind of, as far as show changes, that kind of makes sense. As far as because it gives you, before they go, now you've really got an idea of who the Isle are. So I'm cool with, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, when Rourke and the other Aiel taking the Stoneatier would be pretty badass if Rand's leading them versus just scaling a wall all by himself while Matt blows a hole in it with fireworks. It's a little silly, I guess what I'm saying, book 3.
But it works when you've got a lot of pages to read, but when you're condensing into a show format, it kind of makes sense. I'm sorry, John.
I really want Matt to get the real Ashitari. He's getting the Foxhead Medallion, so...
Yeah, Dana Lou, if there is not a real Ashendari, that is a real disaster.
I mean,
but that's okay.
I feel like they know that everyone's mad about that. Or at least not mad about it, but maybe what the fuck? Kind of thing, at least taken aback. I don't know if they're,
I feel like to Taffy's point about going back to Tyr in the next season, from a logistical point of view, if you leave the Waste, assuming that we have the real map, at least some semblance of it, you would go west to Carrion and then south to Tyr. There's no logical way for an entire nation to move without traveling. So it can make sense that way. To kind of just flood south, that kind of thing.
It would be a
waste
of southern
to
go back to Tyr, but if they're not there, they're not going to be in Tyr. They're going to be in Tarvalon and then go to the Waste. I think the Tyr is all after the Waste. It's not.
Yeah, it would be next season. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think they were just I don't know. But I thought that was cool. I mean, show changes like that make perfect sense. You have to.
I like Min and Matt together in the books. I like them together in the show. So I mean, the only kind of problem I had with it is that was sort of replacing Tom, but Tom's going to be in Tanchico apparently. So if they're weaving Tom back in with the girls and Matt and Min's there, I guess I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
I like more groups
kind of
together.
Just smashing everybody together. I mean, this is kind of like the book.
I don't enjoy what they've done with Min. So I don't.
I mean, I don't love what they've done with Min, but I don't dislike it either. They've kind of made her more interesting in some ways.
Wait. Am I today's fucking Tom?
Yes.
John, I've always been like, yeah. When we watched the episode, and I'm like,
I gotta get a cigarette.
I'll be back on your page.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, I don't know. I'm certainly they're setting her up for something, but I don't know. I hope it gets turned around so she can actually be friends with everybody and connect with Rand, and like.
Right.
I don't know.
Let's talk about Min.
Okay, let's talk about
that
Min.
we spent 5 minutes on Matt. Now it's time about Matt.
We talked about Matt, but now we're talking about Min.
Hi, I'm Kai Alexander, and here's a refresher of where we last saw Min in The Wheel of Time. In Season 2, she left Faldara, wound up in Tar Valon. She was trying to lay low. That didn't work out so well, and she met a new friend, Matt, through a wall. It's been a while since I could have a drink with someone.
Sorry, are you coming on to me?
Oh, please, move. She led him to an inn where she had some crazy visions and was made an offer she couldn't refuse.
You want me to take away your curse?
Are more visions coming in Season 3? Can't say. Would there be drinks involved? Probably. I'm pretty sure I can say that.
All right, she's pretty cute. Go ahead, Jono.
Yes, Jono.
This was a question from the last one, but it's relevant to this one. She said, "Are you the possum scratching at my walls?" Is that like supposed to be akin to like when you put like a rat in someone's ass and like they kind of like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Age of Legends, Summer Age used it as torture. Then she realized everyone liked it, so it didn't work.
Just ejaculating everywhere.
Yeah, she did refuse the offer. That's true. Ask Julian Sandar.
It's true. That's a chapter, I think, in book 5, right? Mice, like figs and mice, or something like that.
Oh yes,
you know all about it.
What a fucking
that
chapter callback for that. Yeah. Thank you for that. I like Min. She seems like she's not quite how I want Min to be. And in some cases she's kind of, I don't know if her personality is exactly like what I want necessarily, but I want something so close to the book that it's kind of undoable, I guess. So I like the idea that she's our coquettish drunk. That's fun. Who doesn't like a flirty drunk? Like myself.
That can read your future. I mean, it's the best place to tell people about their future when they're drunk and they won't remember it.
Yeah.
She's like, I can finally, when everyone's shit-faced, I can finally relax and just tell them all what I'm seeing, and then they'll forget about it.
I sometimes think of the trivial psychic bit that Christopher Walken did on SNL, and I really want it to just be that. It's like one of my favorite skits ever. Maybe it should just be like that. Yeah.
Jono, how's it go?
Tomorrow, you're gonna have an ice cream. You're gonna eat it too fast. You're gonna get a headache, right?
Headache?
Yeah.
That's one of the Dark One's 3-pronged plan.
That's exactly right.
Christopher Walken's in on the 3-pronged plan.
I mean,
Christopher Walken
he's an agent of the Dark One for sure. We all know that.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen his dance moves? Evil. Sexy. Evil.
A
couple people have said I don't think we'll get Elmendretta. I don't think so either. Because, well, why would... There's no need because unless she's hiding in because she's in the tower when like Galad and Gawain are like training and Elaine and Nynaeve and Matt are there, so like, but if she just looks like normal men, so I don't think we're getting Elmendretta either.
What
Although
do the stitching and the swallows, not even a euphemism.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to live without it.
That's troublesome.
You guys want to talk about that? You want to continue down the Tanchico plot thread?
Oh, wait, no, Jono's dancing.
Oh no, I was thinking.
Taffy, what are you excited for from Min in season 3, Taffy?
I don't know, for her to hang out with everybody and be part of it and not just some like outside
And not
person
just
that
randomly hanging out or to the side.
I do understand a little bit. I don't know where they can go with it from here. I'm sure it's somewhere, but like I did like the dark side that they kind of portrayed about how she was forced to give viewings by her aunts, and like it's a little bit more insight to like when she was growing up and how like brutal that must have been. You know, like it explains her sassy attitude a little bit more and how she's a little more, you know, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Kind of makes a perfect pair with Matt, considering that they kind of dirtied up his past and like made his dad the drunk and all that shit.
Teach her how to fuck instead of wear makeup.
Now that's an interesting one. Like
now
okay.
we get Laris.
Oh my god.
Mistress of the Kitchens?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, she used to be a scoundrel when she was younger.
Oh, tell me more.
Yeah. She used to put that spoon in everyone's asshole.
I hear anything about that here.
I would be very surprised if they actually had Min and Laris go into the dungeon and, you know, break them out. Like
I don't think they're gonna be there. I think they're gonna be on a mission to get the Black Aja when that shit happens. If that happens this season, feels like it's gonna.
Yeah, I mean
it definitely feels like the tower is like already broken from what we saw.
It really, kind of. It feels like they're setting. It really does feel like they're setting Swan up for like a more of an egotistical fall, like that Elida would have, rather than the other way around. But
yeah,
I feel like Swan's going down this season.
I like that. Moraine's all in. Well, or she's all in Moraine, I guess.
Moraine's all in on that one.
Okay.
Elaine?
Yeah.
Let's do Elaine.
Yeah.
I'm Kira Coveney, here with a refresher of where we left Elaine and the Wheel of Time.
How are you?
In Season 2, she spent lots of time at the White Tower. She befriends Egwene.
And it's lovely to meet you, Egwene. Don't you wonder what the future might hold for us?
She was betrayed to the Shonchan, but managed to escape with Nynaeve. She got an arrow to the leg in Farm. Hurt like hell. But she recovered just in time to help Hilrand and win the battle in Farm. Now you're ready for Season 3, or as ready as you can be.
She's so dang cute.
She is.
She's
really gonna make me like Elaine, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You guys just fucking jinxed each other.
I know.
Right here.
I mean, we both feel the same way.
Oh, Jono, you're gonna do us both with your hands?
Oh, you are.
Thank you. Whee!
Here we go. That's a little bit better for Joe.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stay like my dad.
This is fun. Wee.
Yep.
Thank you, Jono. That was so nice of you.
Joe's a squirter. Don't worry.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's okay.
She is adorable.
She is adorable.
I mean, I feel like if she starts having lines like, well, I'm the daughter heir of Andor every 5 minutes, I could learn to hate her in real life and the books. But we'll see. So far, I like her. They did have that hilarious image of her like escaping. That's your favorite, Taffy, with the veins on her forehead.
Yes, that she looks like that. That one did the rounds actually. Twitter time actually did not get mad at me about that. They thought it was funny.
Well, I'm glad for that. And also, it doesn't matter though, because the new Twitter times over on myspace.com/podcast, myspace.com/singwithtaffy. The new Twitter times
I have to post that meme I made. I have to post that on my MySpace page.
The new Twitter of time. If you're not there, then you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, that's what all the news is.
It's hard to remember she's 27. By the way, the Elaine actress, Kara, because she looks like 18, 19. And I'm like, she's cute. But like when you see like a picture of her not looking quite as young, like just more normal, like very attractive. But 18, 19, while legal, feels very young. Be 40 in 3.5 weeks.
She recovered from an arrow in the leg just in time to run to the top of a tower to heal Rand. Least believable.
Not true. We don't know how big
she didn't run to the top of the tower. She limped up there with the knee.
Yeah.
I think the whole fight was happening, and they were like, next stair. next stare, like over.
That was one of the funniest parts of that episode was how it kept just cutting. It cut back to them like 3 times, just Nynaeve just sitting there staring at it, and Elaine like going like this, and then they cut away from them, and like it seemed like it took forever for them to like resolve how to deal with that situation. So they ended up not doing much at all.
Does it annoy you that once again Nynaeve's not the one to heal somebody?
That's kind of what I was about to say. Is that like why is it?
I mean, I get why they did it, because like it's like Elaine meeting, because like it's like when Rand fell off the wall and Elaine's like, "Hey, are you okay, buddy?" And they fall in love. It's like the whole point. But like, I mean, but it's like, why? Just once again,
yeah.
Like they did it to Nynaeve in the end of the first season, and instead of, I feel like those roles should have been flip flopped, and Nynaeve should have been the healing one, and like Egwene should have been the one that got burnt out or whatever. But like, it's just weird that Egwene healed Nynaeve in the first season, and then in the second season, Elaine heals Rand instead of Nynaeve. I haven't like highlighted Nynaeve as a healer in any way, shape, or form.
That's not true.
Well, she helped Moiraine last until they got with the sitters or the sisters.
That's
the
true.
First season.
You know why? Because she's got a tail and she can track them.
I think it's because Moiraine pisses on ferns.
I think that's what her tail is. There's the yellow fern.
She's backing up to it, just shaking her tail a little bit. Yeah, it's beautiful.
But how would Lan not know that? Oh, probably because he's a gentleman. He always looks away when she's peeing. So
yeah, he doesn't.
She's squirting pheromones against things. Yeah.
Her angst at her block is even worse if others are healing and she isn't. I mean, sure.
Yeah,
that's a valid point.
Yeah,
if we ever see that.
Oh, that's true. She did that badass, like healed them all, but really just to heal Lan. But she healed them all. That's true. She did do that.
So it sounds like I should probably rewatch this show before season 3, and that show starts when?
I don't know.
Oh, also I have a question for you guys, and then also the rest of the fan club. Do you guys know if you have to for the screener on? Is it? I forgot the date. For that. Is it? Oh, I did, but I signed up under a different email than our family like Amazon account. March 13th. But wait a minute. But the one March 89th. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the 8th.
Yeah. So the one that's earlier. Okay. So if you sign up for that, is it one of those things like they did before where you can only stream it through a laptop, like on the website instead of like through the app, like or like
probably.
I don't know because I don't know if I have to ask.
You might be able to access that from like. Can you get a web browser on your TV? Some people can.
I don't know. Maybe I don't think I've ever tried. But I mean, I don't mind watching it on the laptop. But do I need
said, I heard you can cast to a TV, so I think it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I don't mind watching it on this too. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I have to do, Jono?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I just don't know if I have.
As everyone can tell, Jono's really good at tickling fish out of a stream.
Wow. Okay, if I was a fish, I would swim right to that.
Do you have any excitement level for what Elaine's going to get up to in season 3, based on what we know, which is, I guess, is just Tanchico?
Yeah, I am because I'm looking forward to I'm excited for the interactions between everybody.
I'll be honest, I kind of want to see her do more. It's weird that she didn't spend a whole lot of time with Egwene, even though like
they were kind of
see them as friends first before Nynaeve, but like But it seems like she spent a lot of time with Nynaeve last season because they were on the run together, and now this season Egwene's going to the Waste and they're going to Tanchico, so like it's going to be them again, which is in the books, but I mean it's also kind of interesting that it seems like that's more of a relationship really than her and Egwene. But
well, if you think about it, it's really other than foundational, which in fairness is like 6-8 months, maybe or 6 to 9 months, excuse me. There's really not that much time that Egwene and Elaine spend together in the entire series.
Yeah, I guess I just consider them more friends than the other way around because
they literally
more closer to the same age. Yeah. And then he was like older.
That also allows Nynaeve and Elaine to bond over their mutual care for Egwene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So that's one of the reasons why they're able to travel. They have, so that they're able to become closer because they're both like loyal to her.
Yep.
Yeah,
Glenn
I guess
is
they did.
exactly.
There was just more time in the tower in the books, I guess. Like they had more time running around.
There's a massive amount.
Yeah.
Finding gray man bodies, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Book 2 and book 3. And then it kind of goes sideways thereafter, and then it becomes a very strange power dynamic. As far as the actual actress goes, or where she's going, like clean slate for the most part. Like I wasn't offended by her in season 2. Unfortunately, people from season 1 kind of come with like a little bit of like, kind of that unwashed rectum, like a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth.
A little bit of baggage
because of
Okay.
And it's not their actors' fault. Like they did nothing wrong. In fact, they're actually all pretty fucking good. But it's just kind of like, just a lingering hangover from some strange shit. And again, one day, I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll do it a couple thousand more. I'd love to know what the original plan was when things were originally planned, and then how they all got fucked sideways in a less than fun way with a couple cards that were dealt.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll ever come out.
I don't think so. Probably not. I mean, like, what's
would it make you look better or worse? Like, here was our original idea.
Like season 1, like DVD commentary. Like, our original plan was Matt's gonna get the dagger from Baden Fane, and then instead we just had Perrin run through the halls for 30 minutes because we didn't have Matt.
And then we had characters die but come back for season 2, episode 1. Huh?
There has been no
bad
casting
that one,
yet,
yeah.
Rosamund would have been great as Lanfear instead of Moraine. Well, I mean, I like her as Moraine.
Yeah, but I think that's an interesting idea, though, to have her as
also really like Natasha O'Keefe, who plays Lanfear herself. So,
yeah.
What's Matt Hatch think?
Yeah.
What's that?
What's Matt Hatch think about Natasha O'Keefe?
Oh, he loves her to death.
He may have just an orgasm without knowing it.
Because you said their names together.
Yeah, said the names together.
I was gonna say let's talk about Nynaeve, but you guys
Hatch.
want to talk about Lanfear instead?
Yeah.
Let's do Nynaeve, and then we'll do Lanfear.
Okay.
Do you know he?
I'm Zoe Robbins, here with a refresher of where we left Nynaeve in The Wheel of Time. In season 2, she struggled to meet expectations at the tower.
I've been keeping tabs on you, You've proven to be quite the disappointment.
Her relationship with Egwene fractured.
Where is she when I actually need her?
Her testing was traumatic. She escaped to Foam with Elaine.
We're thousands of miles west of the White Tower, Nynaeve.
Foam.
That's where Leandrin said Perrin and Loyal were being taken.
All leading to the defeat of Ashamil and the Shonchan. What does season 3 hold for her? Lots that I can't tell you about yet.
I gotta be honest, they aren't really telling us shit. I feel like
They're not.
it's
a recap of last.
No shit, I'm kidding. Damn it.
I think Land's like the only one that actually says something,
it.
and he basically is like, "I think I can say I fight Trollocs."
Okay.
I mean, Nynaeve.
It's kind of smart to do that for those clips for social media, because there's a lot of people that are just now starting to watch it. Didn't even watch 1 and 2.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
those are good. Those are good recaps.
Like Tom.
Well, I'm excited for Nynaeve versus Olmog, which we're about to talk about tonight, and hopefully that happens. But
the world's
what are you guys excited for?
I think it's going to happen. I think that's we're gonna let her shine this season. That's gonna be her big thing.
If not,
except we're not gonna get that whole joke about how if anybody else walked in, it would just look like two women just staring at each other like this,
sweating.
Yeah, but this
my favorite
we're gonna need all the weaves and everything.
It's absolutely amazing. Like if we don't get it like that, like feels like it needs to be almost like Fred Armisen, like staring at something, just like one, like It just,
I really hope they just have one single maid or palace servant like walking through the Panarch's palace and just comes into that hallway and goes, "What the fuck?" And then kind of and then nothing's happening, and then it just cuts right back to them ripping each other apart.
Less conversation every time, and just walks out.
I mean, I think we're gonna get that fight. I hope we do. It's weird. It'll be interesting if they do it on the same level of power that they're at in the books, because it seems like they're kind of bringing Nynaeve down a tiny bit in terms of power level.
And I like that with women.
Lanfear was like horrified by Moghedien's like existence in the room with her.
Yeah, that was
Which,
okay.
Well, I guess it's
Yeah,
shocking
fine.
because she's there. That means like Ishmael like freed her too, or whatever, and like freed the rest or whatever.
Yeah,
And,
it's
like, that's
condoned
really more what
almost.
Lanfear
Yeah.
is probably afraid of. But like,
Okay, that makes more sense because
I
she's
don't
supposed to be stronger than her.
But she's supposed to be an arrogant fucking like almost demigod, or a demigoddess. Pardon my language. Like that to me is like I still find that such a weird thing, and I couldn't remember it until you mentioned it, Joe. Like that's way out of character for Lanfear. And again, maybe we're changing the character, which I have mixed thoughts on, and the mix is negative.
she seems like Lanfear. I mean, from the books, other than that scene, almost verbatim. I would say. Which is
I agree.
Interesting.
And that's why Moghedien is stronger because she actually turned to the shadow because she's fucking evil, not because of like she got scorned by some dude.
Yeah, because I'm in love.
Right.
No, I mean I don't know
Which
if
is
Lanfear
understandable.
might end up being like more powerful than Moghedien, just like in the books. But I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it'll
I
just
think you guys are
caught her
right.
off
I
guard
think
that she was
yeah,
out.
I didn't think about that. You're right.
Glenn said, "I bet Rafe's tried to figure out a way to have it be a Gween fighting."
Glenn, that's a good one.
Oh man.
What'd you get, Jono?
The Ballantine Caribbean Cask 14.
Oh, that's beautiful. Hey, you
Thank
kind of
you.
look like an Irish punk with your hair like that.
Oh,
I like
thank you.
it.
That's me. I've gotten in
Maybe
many fights
something
with the police.
Intimidating on the soccer field.
Yeah. Again, the 39-year-old man
This is
lurching down the
actually-
sidelines.
This is the Irish punk right here.
Yeah.
Are you Irish too?
Me?
Jono, yeah.
I'm a medley of everything that's white and burns easily from the British Isles. So.
Well, that's good. That's good for your immune system to have a nice mix.
Yeah. No, I've enjoyed my trips with cancer already. Thanks a lot.
Jono's great
No, sorry.
grandmother was in a gangbang, so they don't know.
Oh,
It's a big mix.
I'm
As
everywhere.
long as she was willingly participating.
Well,
Say
so
yes.
it ends up.
I mean,
that's
we don't
something
know. It
we
was so
travel
long
all the way
ago. The
down
records are very
genetically.
sparse.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was a
My mom
cauldron
was the same
involved.
way.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ooh, tasty.
Oh, that looks very refreshing.
Thank
All right,
you.
well,
I love anyone who calls it. Yeah, 14 years.
Jono, are you excited for Nynaeve in season 3?
Yeah. I am. I'm excited for everything in season 3, minus parts of the plot. Like the actors are all wonderful. I think it's all beautiful for the most part. And then I get a little frustrated with some of the, A plus B equals fuck if I know sometimes. That being said, I'm willing to give it a shot and not sound like Tom, at least for these 34 seconds.
I don't know. I'm starting to think that possibly the mashups that are happening now are more to condense plot lines instead of just completely change stuff like they've done before. Like
That sounds like a Tom and A minor sentence.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
know what he calls it? Monster
Minor Tom.
mashup.
Monster Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Rafe was
know.
working
Do you
in
know
a
what I
lab
mean?
one-
Like
No, I understand what you're saying. I agree with
think
you for the most part.
You're exactly right that the idea is just to kind of peel them off early and often and kind of let them have like, hey, here's this. Let's just, fuck the middle part. Here's kind of your not end game, but mid game pairing where you're gonna like learn this shit and be together. And then afterwards we'll kind of sew everything up. And hopefully that goes well. Because I don't like it's easy as shit to shit on the show. Right. Easy as shit on show. I don't want to. I want it to just be fucking good. Like I want like that to just be like I really fucking enjoyed season 3. And
you
I
know
hope
what?
that's
If
what
you
happens.
watch if you do a rewatch, Jono, I think you'll enjoy it more this time because when we first watch it, it's so jarring. You're like, why? Okay, that I know they have to change stuff, but why this? You know what I mean? But I think that you might be able to just enjoy it more this time if you do.
I
Before.
find that's how I would be. Like my initial reaction on watching the show would always be like, why the fuck did they do blah blah blah, A B C D F E F G kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then like the second read or the second watch I would do to like take notes for our show, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, actually,
and then some of it's just
willing to, kind of thing. Or just a scene in general that's not from the books that they put into the show. I'm like, wow, they did a really good job in that scene though. And it's like, like I'm kind of like, I don't care that it's there. Or, kind of, there's a lot of
except for the Ashendari that'll. But if they give him a new one, if he actually gets the real one,
I loved Brandon's commentary on the Ashendari because he said something like, it's pure evil. It doesn't matter if you tie it to the end of a stick. Like I was like, God damn, he's right. And I was like,
just using it to like melt into the horn box and melt.
And now it's a lightsaber. I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
I do absolutely love. I think my favorite thing of all of it was the what's the right word? Repercussion against Brandon Sanderson, the guy who wrote the second most of the entire series.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, Brandon?"
Like just that to me.
I find myself that whole entire watch with Brandon and Matt Hatch, and I was like, finally somebody saying it aside from us. I was like texting Jono while I was watching it and just going like, holy shit, Brandon's like saying all the things that we were bitching about throughout the whole season. I'm amazed.
I thought it was incredible. Absolutely incredible, because he's a very he did it in a very polite way. Like, it was very respectful.
Brando is he's a negative Nancy, Jono.
Like in general, or just
Santo Brando?
He can be. He definitely can be. But I thought he did it pretty respectfully as far as like that goes. And maybe he shouldn't have, dared part his curtains, which, not often for a Mormon do you see that, about his thoughts. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I like people being unfettered, and they're like kind of just like, here's my shit. Here's how.
He wasn't saying like, for the most part, it seemed like he was like, I was consulted on this when I heard about it. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't do that. Like, especially with the Ashendari, that was his commentary kind of thing.
Yeah,
and everyone kind of took that like, he hates the show, and I'm like, he just said he was commenting on like, and they didn't take his advice.
Oh, everybody got mad about it. Okay.
Now what we should do is
he didn't like it, don't get me wrong, but
we should have Rafe on to discuss parts of book 12.
We should.
Yeah, which we should. Yeah.
Okay, I will put that in the notes to contact Rafe Lee Judkins to be on for our show. And get ready, lock in and loaded. Oh, right.
Locked in and loaded. And you can find the show notes and the fan letter over on myspace.com/tWoTcast at myspace.com/sing with Taffy. The new Twitter of time, we're calling it. If you're not there, you don't even know what you're doing. It's new Twitter of time.
Should we make
That's the only way we can be reached. That's the only way anybody can contact us.
It's the only way to contact tWoTcast or Sing with Taffy.
That's true.
I said let's do an even then Lanfear. You still want to do Lanfear? Or you want to do somebody else? We have Perrin, Lanfear, Egwene, Avienda. We have 5 left. But let's just do like 1 or 2 and get on with it.
Yeah, let's do 1 more and then
Lanfear.
Lanfear it is.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Natasha O'Keefe here, who plays Lanfear. Let's go to season 2, where Lanfear was freed by Sharmael. She went by Celine and ran an inn. She brought Ran to a cabin and revealed who she was.
What's happening?
Only to get stabbed by Moraine.
No, hurry. We don't have much time.
Ran still asked for her help, though.
If you actually want me to trust you, then do something to earn it.
After Sharmael's death, one of the other Forsaken arrived on the scene.
Oh, goody.
What does season 3 hold for Lanfear? Who knows?
Who knows?
That's great. I really like.
She's awesome.
I really like all this extra stuff and what they added. I don't know. I like what they've done with her. She's pretty great.
Again, all the actors, they're fantastic.
Did you like how she was murdered and immediately came back to life with no apparent need for anybody? Or
hey, fuck that.
I didn't love that part.
This little recap, I loved the what's happening when Rand's on his back and clearly she's on top, and then she like shudders. That's a great just looks like an inadvertent sex scene, and I really appreciate it. I guess
sure. Probably was.
That's kind of how I feel every time it happens to me. Increasingly rare as I get older.
Okay.
What's happening to me?
Toby said it was. This is about Sanzo Branzo. Everyone but me is an idiot. I am a peak artist, and if you don't listen to me, your shit sucks.
So
I mean,
quote.
There was a little bit of that attitude.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't.
I
have a feeling that there's a tWoTcast page on MySpace. It's an insane comment.
There is one.
There really is. And it's
there is, and the address is myspace.com/tWoTcast. This is the new Twitter of time.
Come on.
Do you guys think Tom actually thought you would keep talking about MySpace even after he was gone?
I mean, yeah, that was part of the plan.
Oh, that was the only way.
It's his exit strategy. He's just gonna run our MySpace page.
Man's getting paid $100 grand a year for MySpace. Yeah.
What are you excited about for Landfair season 3? Jono, go.
I want to see more of the Forsaken. Like, again, in the books, for me, every Forsaken point of view, whether it's like a small vignette or like even like much larger, like multi-page pieces of a chapter, they're like my favorite things. Like every time that we have that kind of, as we're getting into the Samuel Grandel, kind of alliance with also, who else is in that? Raven at some points before he gets whoopsied. Some of my favorite stuff that gives glimpses of the past, glimpse of what's going on. She does look like Trinity from the Matrix. There's no doubt about that. I hope if they can give that level of like just interest, because to me, like as soon as you see the fucking chapter icon that's kind of snake-like, instantly I'm all in. Like even as a man who's read this a few times a few, every time I'm like, well, I'm not putting this down. So
yeah, they are very intriguing.
If you can give me that level of interest, I really, I'm in.
Do you think she'll cosplay as a fat peddler?
In season 169%.
All right.
She's gonna have some like just gross, sweaty skin,
just enormous fat rolls.
Yeah,
and it has to be like a CGI Jabba the Hutt, or I'm not going to be happy. Like if they cast a real person, I'm going to be like, "That's rude."
Yeah, you're an asshole, man.
They just cast because they're wildly overweight.
I need this to be like permanently moist underneath, such that there's like almost diabetic ulcers. Like just not good.
Yeah, it would have to be really ludicrous looking.
Taffy, what are you excited for? Landfair season 3? Anything?
Again, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't know what she's not gonna do. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, she's in a weird place, especially if they don't have her cosplay as a peddler. I don't know what they would do with her. I mean, there's going to be those dream sequences and shit with like Rand and making out and like looking over her shoulder, all weird at Egwene. Like, it's my spot now, bitch. I mean, there's something going on with Egwene and Lanfear and Rand in this season, clearly.
Right.
With like the fact that they still sort of like love each other, Egwene and Rand. I mean,
do you think they're going to use that to get him to actually
kill her?
Him and Egwene to actually, this is their final, like when Egwene lets go of him, and then he can move on to the 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Because then,
and maybe part of that will be like Elaine and Rand like hanging out in Tar-Valon before they part ways, kind of like they did in Tyr. Maybe there will be a little bit of that going on.
Hopefully, without the 2 letters.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a 3rd letter. Fucking all. That's what the bullshit.
Bitch. P.S.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that, do you want to do Avienda and move on, or should we just move on?
Let's move on in.
All right, let's move on. Well, we saved.
Come on in.
We saved 4.
Yeah.
Did you get to look at the 4 character posters that they have kind of in groups of characters?
Oh yeah, I saw Lanfear's, and that grouping was interesting.
Yeah.
Because it had like
Elida and Dane. with her.
Yeah, Bonehold was behind them.
Yeah.
I was like, what's Bonehold doing? I guess it was like the villains of the season, so to speak.
Or maybe
they actually gave Dan a valid reason for hating Perrin, like a real reason. Like he watched him he actually killed his father. It really happened.
Also his wife.
I'm no actor, but they may want me anyway.
Do you think they should just have Perrin kill everyone's wife?
Yes.
Like female character
gonna
get chopped by Perrin.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at it.
I think so. Why not?
Yeah.
I think Dovey would like that, wouldn't you, Dovey?
Like in the Battle of the Two Rivers, he just like when all the women are on the green with the children, he just like walks around chopping women instead of the Trollocs.
Well, he says, "I'm
like,
sorry."
The Trollocs must have broken through, and he's like, "Yeah, it must have been the Trollocs."
What happened here?
Perrin's really secretly a serial killer for the
lady
That'd be a
burning
cool
all over
turn.
my axe.
Yeah, fucking weird turn. All right, that's been show discussion for the night. Let's talk about the books.
Yay!
Spoiler warning for all the books in the show, I guess. Everything you'll possibly hear about and talk about. This is our episode covering The Shadow Rising, part 15, chapters 54 through 56. And I guess let's chapter 54 it. 54 it up. Into the palace.
Into the pal's ass.
I
Elaine
read that
and Eve and
wrong.
Again go to the Panarch's palace. Elaine and Again go to a burlesque show and free Amathera, and Nynaeve and old Mog sweat at each other as far as non-channelers can tell. Then an idiot with balefire.
That is one of my favorite fucking recaps. Fuck
Yeah,
you,
that's
Tom.
great.
The burlesque show and then two ladies sweat at each other had me a little sweaty down below.
This chapter. Let's talk about it.
Drinking some pre-cum.
Yeah. We start with Elaine. My favorite.
This is probably where Joe, and I'm glad he's switched himself off, is about to lose his mind
Finally
about Elaine
gone,
because
yes.
she's on the cart and they're dressed poorly. And
Finally,
yeah,
imagine how much
exactly.
trouble they could have averted if they had dressed like that the whole time they were there instead of in their funky outfits.
They are trying to blend in and wear the nicest silks with their tits out, but not out, but just augmented and visible. And that's unfortunately what happened. Is how dare you blame the victim, Taffy? How fucking dare you? You don't know what it's like, do you?
To be
a woman?
No, or a woman? No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
You're right. That was
offend me.
wrong of me. I apologize.
Yeah,
I am so sorry.
apology not accepted, but we'll let it go for now.
Well, I'm glad they're still finally deciding to dress something that actually lets them blend in a little bit more.
Indeed. So they're
Servants?
on the way into the
Yes,
they
as
are.
servants.
Yeah.
As all women should be, Taffy said, because she's sexist. So they're on their way into the palace. They've got, Egeon is there, by the way. Very exciting update for her. Also, if you guys want to know what a boarding sword is, you're welcome for this unnecessary. Did you enjoy that picture I sent, Taffy?
That was awesome.
Yes,
It is.
because actually, and boarding, like that's for boarding onto other ships. It's like for getting onto another ship and taking their. Okay,
fuck up
that's
the
a
rigging.
menacing sword. If that's what they're using to board other ships, then yes, I would see that.
What
and
is
I would
that
drop
for? Hooking
It's pretty
on to
awesome.
It's
the
for
ships or
maybe.
something?
like tearing out like ropes and all that.
Yeah,
like,
cutting
if you do
ropes,
it on your
yeah.
own, like if you got to hack it in a second, or definitely for boarding another, hence the name.
Okay.
So instead of having like a sharp, you're pretty much getting with a sawtooth like that a whole
Yeah.
bunch of cuts all in one.
Yeah, that thing is crazy looking.
I'll try to grab that picture real quick and throw it on.
Yeah, go for that. Also, thank you
We
Reddit for just immediately being there.
Yeah.
So they're on their way in. Jacob Carradine, for no reason, there really isn't a need for him to have this bizarre, just there he is. But apparently, because he doesn't do anything, he doesn't have any relevance, but he just makes a quick cameo appearance.
Is it just
And
a
then they
reminder
walk in.
for us that he's there and what he's?
I think so. Yeah.
That they're.
So they get in, and immediately, as soon as they're in, the Ponarch is dead. Absolutely love the fact that, like, congratulations to them, because like Doman has had 300 sailors around, kind of seeding rumors. Tom and Julian were seeding rumors, and like it's finally bearing fruit. Perfectly timely, by the way.
Does that number seem insanely high to you?
300,
like
300. Like he doesn't. So he has 20 with them as they go in or whatever. Like at first, which is like that's believable, but like when they're escaping at the end, he's like, and 300 sailors formed a semicircle. So the guy was like, 300? Jesus Christ. Like I understand like the whole city is like boiling over and shit, but like, you're just like, holy fuck, that's a lot.
Well, he was expecting it. He said it do be fall all over again.
It do be fall all over again. He was expecting it. Shit,
he wasn't.
Taffy.
And we all know Robert Jordan hates the Persians. And so therefore 300 was the perfect number for him.
Oh, I forgot you and I both know Farsi.
Oh,
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I'm way out of practice, but
G study. Do you need to pee?
Oh, shush.
Oh, good God.
And to Sodom. That means shit on my head.
Pedar sukter.
We're out of my terminology.
Jono only knows.
I heard my ass.
How to shit on it.
That's my
shit on people's heads.
My dog's dick in your ass.
Aw.
That's
actually a Hallmark card Shanda got me once.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. Sponsored not by Hallmark.
Is it so sweet?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Pedar sukter.
Anyway, so obrigado for that. Obrigado. Switch to Portuguese. What the fuck's happening here? Merci for all your work there. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Drinking is bad for you.
Here's the boarding sword, guys.
Oh,
yeah. It's fucking crazy looking. Also, very inexact.
That's fucking. It really is. That horrifying. Is crazy.
I like how it's. I mean, I guess it's kind of sharp on the one side, but it's really more of a point and then the saw side.
Yeah, point, saw, and then probably just like a great cudgel as like just like nail someone with the back end.
Jesus.
Just like when I do.
Come a running. Sailors in port are drunk and bored. They hear some shit going down.
Probably, right?
So they deliver some ice peppers. More ice peppers? The chef
more dildos for that lady, the panarch.
And then the cook is like, she's feeling sexy tonight. And I was like, that's weird. A weird thing to say.
Joe, I've got a question for you. Do you want to discuss Elaine's feet?
I mean, she does mention them here.
Several times.
But then later on, at the end of this, she mentions them again, but I feel like it's an allusion to the fact that she kicked the shit out of the panarch.
So I want to say,
okay,
it's like an off-screen spanking,
that I know of. At least Joe's not a foot fetish that I know of. It's more of I just really appreciate asking him, and you actually responded a little more positively than I expected.
Okay. Anything to do with Elaine?
Yeah, just I'm pretty sure like this, like on our first read or second read or third read, was where you started really being like, this fucking uppity bitch.
I mean, I've done that a few times in the last couple of chapters.
That fucking bait. So I'm impressed, really.
I mean, if it doesn't, I mean, that was a fucking bitch Elaine moment, but I mean, it's barely started, Jono. Yeah, it's not really till later that it starts to bother me.
If we want to get to the minutia, I appreciate the fact that Elaine also noticed how much fucking like fully stuffed kitchen, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
that was kind of disturbed by it.
Yeah,
that's true. And you know what else she does when she gets in the storeroom? Starts immediately talking about how Marilyn Gamalfin's in the other room really loudly, and then Neve's like, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch." And that's a dumb Elaine moment.
No. Yes.
She's like, "Did you see her?"
Yeah. She's right out there. Yeah. Also, and she's going to hear you because we're in a storeroom, you fucking stupid.
Well, but hold on. What else did she do? Immediately started taking her clothes off.
And then she bows at the cook like she's seen servants bow to her.
Yes.
Which is
so
direct
funny.
reference to her being the daughter heir.
Like,
which causes the cook to be like, what the fuck? Are you mocking me? And they get chased out of the goddamn. She almost blows their cover immediately.
It's pretty perfect.
Immediately.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
If you want to have fun with anyone, by the way,
it's fine.
Like unnecessary side talk, but like if you want to have fun with anyone, like present like if someone drops something, give it to them on their knees. Like whenever like if I'm on the sideline and I'm trying to give the ball to someone like to take a throw in that's not on my team, like I immediately bow down on one knee and just like do this.
Just hand it to them.
I'll bet you do.
It'll fucking confuse. Like, that's a quick way of just like really just
showing your subservience.
Yeah,
really turning up your belly.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh, I know. Because my penis is pushing my stomach up.
It is?
Turning my belly up.
Oh, okay.
And there's a hole there.
Anyway, riot noises are outside, and Anita grabs a feather duster and she leaves.
Oh, bye-bye.
Anyway, they split up. They go to the Panarch's chamber.
My breasts are round and my hips are too. I can flatten the whole ship crew.
What do you think the next line was going to be? Because if I remember correctly,
flatten the whole ship
Taffy.
crew.
Oh, so my thighs are strong. My thighs are strong as an anchor chain. My kiss can burst your penis to flame.
Oh, okay.
Like an ice pepper.
But that doesn't
like an
technically
ice
rhyme.
pepper.
Chain to flame.
Oh.
Soup kitchen is like, oh my god. God damn. And that's Jono's alt account, Wyatt Man Wyatt.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Wyatt.
I mean, I've said it before. I mean, I feel like I need one of these that says chat says horrible things than really Jono.
Yeah, because there's several offenders there. Wyatt Minwild.
Plenty.
No, they're not offenders. They're just
where's Beej,
guys.
by the way? Beej isn't throwing any. Is Beej sick tonight? Beej hasn't said any terrible stuff yet.
I mean, not yet, yeah.
There's always
so Elaine feels
he's
someone
been
channeling a little inside the Panarch's chamber and decides to be brave, like, quote unquote, all of the queens of Andor's past.
Which, by the way, is another part of what is that? An Andor story?
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Ghost of Queen's Past. A terrible.
There's two ways of saying that. Like, just like, I want to be like a Queen of Andor, brave, like all of them were. And then, but instead she starts from like a dickhead's perspective of like, let me list all the queens that were brave. And then she goes, I gotta stop listing them. They were all cool. And you're like, God, fuck off. Get out of here. That being said, she's pretty badass. She busts in the door.
She is
anyway,
brave,
that's
though.
not the point. The point is,
like, she really is
she's
brave.
a dick beforehand.
She's a
again, Joe Chico, love you, buddy, but Taffy B is right. She's
pretty awesome. She's pretty awesome.
I love that she tells Egan and like hey, throw the doors open and get down.
Yeah,
it's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
and not sure what she's walking into. Which, by the way, real quickly, as it comes into importance later. Not part of the fucking plan. She was not supposed to. It was supposed to be pretty much.
No, she was supposed to leave if she felt like there was a guard. Even if there was a guard outside the door, she was supposed to leave. Which of course she would go through a guard. But like, there's people channeling inside. She technically doesn't know if there's more of the black. Like, she could have thrown those doors open, and all of them could have been in there. And just one of them
could
was
have been
channeling.
a diddle party. Yeah.
So it could have been real bad.
Yeah.
But it turns out it was just Tamail.
Tamail. Timeali. It's getting out of hand here.
Anyway, Emerthir is singing body songs. Tamail's gets smashed in the face with some flows of air and gets shielded by Elaine. It was, nice job.
Pretty
lady.
awesome.
That's all I have to say about that.
So this is bizarre domination sex stuff, by the way. Like I'm not quite sure, and I'm hoping there's people in the chat that can help me out. What is the fetish where you shove ice peppers in someone and then make them sing? Like it is kind of like quasi bondage-esque, but at the same time,
I don't know what's going on here.
It's a
they're
lot.
just having. She's a she's a plaything while they're biding their time inside the palace. And
Tamail just likes to really get to the truth and interview people like on Hot Ones. She's just like, try this one. Too hot for you?
Yeah. Well, do it anyway. Now let's sing this song. Or what about this? Tamail likes to have her pussy lips with like a spicy tongue.
Whoa.
I didn't know that. Oh, what?
I'm initially confused that
I'd like to know if that's true or not. We'll have to write some
well, that's Brandon.
Some on MySpace.
How much fan fiction do you think Brandon wrote before he was chosen to write the Wheel of Time?
So much. I know this from
so much.
Yeah. I know this. I asked him one time in person.
Volumes.
Oh, he's not supposed to be there at JordanCon this year, is he?
I don't think so. I
thought the whole point was that he would like rotate every other year, and it's to quote the best song ever. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't
know. I don't get that quote unless you sing it. If you don't sing that quote, I won't get it.
It's been a while.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I got it now.
Amethyr has been compulsed, given weird decrees out left and right that don't make sense and contradict each other.
She hasn't been compulsed.
Ice peppers with no water.
She's just been.
She was forced to say things that she didn't want to say.
I don't think. Like, first off, the only person who can compulse, even to a limited extent,
Leandra knows light compulsion. Yeah,
but I don't think that's it. Like they were like she was just compelled to do so because of threats, like not on a like compulsive.
I don't know. I feel like Leandrin's going like, "You're gonna say this, bitch," and then
it's not as much fun. Like if you're making him, I think it's fun to make her like not be able to resist her own desires.
Well, Tamail's having fun on that end of the spectrum for sure.
Yeah, and there's no compulsion here.
I don't know if the decrees have anything. I think the decrees come from like
land down under.
What? Like she's just kidnapped? Would she be in front of all her troops and shit?
The troops aren't. So what they've got them like white cloaks.
Oh yeah, they're not. Oh yeah, that's right. They're
Panarch's palace far, civil close. Like it's all fucking diffuse. Like it's quite the fucked up. Like quite the fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's stained. Thanks, thank you. Thank you for that. Hey, Taffy, this song was stained. It's been a while.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't for me.
I wouldn't mind meeting Sanderson. I have questions for him. I mean, who doesn't? We all do. And he'll answer in great detail.
Yeah.
And way longer than you want him.
He's very friendly in person.
He's very friendly.
Yeah. And he's a big nerd just like Jasper.
But nice pepper. It's also like you're like kind of like if you're doing it right, Wyatt man, like you can really kind of like fuck her with
Jono, it's weird.
Jono,
you're just answering your own
to yourself right now.
Yeah. It's very strange.
We know what you're doing.
Apologies. Apologies for that.
It's really weird. It's a weird move.
White man,
I'm just gonna make an alt account and be like, Joe's right, and here's why. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, Jono?
You should call it.
And then I'll have a conversation with him live. It's me,
Joey.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Amethyr starts beating the crap out of Tamail while she's stuck on the ground and wrapped in air. All right, here's a question. Air wraps around you, it's hard as rock, quote unquote, trapping the person, right?
Right.
Can you punch through that? And you're not the one tied? Are you just isn't it just like punching the wall?
I don't think she cares. She didn't know what she was kicking.
She's like, I'm going to slap a bitch and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So that's
I love that. I love it.
It wants
which is cool because it shows they didn't like break her when she immediately lashes out.
I think she was close to being broken, but yeah, I agree. I don't think she's broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she would have lasted much longer.
So I guess the question is
Elaine's the
what
one
is wrapped? Right? Like what is like what is air wrapped around her? Like is it just like
maybe it's like a just a rope, so it's like
exactly
in between,
like
if she knocks
arms to her side,
yeah,
arms to her side.
But how do you feel like that physically happens? Like if your arms are stuck to your sides from air, if the air is solidified, then it's like then I feel like punching that would be like punching the outside of that bond.
But what Taffy is saying,
or is it like a whirlwind and it's like swirling and wrapping them tight? And then I'm punching through a tornado? Like, what is that? How does that even mean? Like, what's happening right there?
Not a hurricane
Air tentacles.
Over here with a fist.
Oh, Beach is here.
Yeah.
Finally, there we
Beach
go.
in directions here as soon as you wrote that.
Thanks, Beach.
My wife isn't a blow-up doll, but she did inflate after marriage. Sounds like something Jono would say. I mean, if you're trying to differentiate yourself, Jono, you're doing a bad job.
It's not working. That was just really... Oh.
I think that's Ryan from the Way of the Leaf. Is that right?
Is it Ryan or Dan? We don't know. We never know.
It's always Ryan.
It's always Dan.
Yeah, no shit. Why do you ruin jokes?
Elaine separates them with air. Amethyr is like, I want to join my soldiers. And she's like, that's a dumb idea. And here's why. Mostly because you'll get me caught. So fuck off. But also, like you'll get retaken in 5 seconds. Like, what are you, stupid? And they kind of leave. We kind of leave them with the thought of like, okay, well, that makes sense. And now let's move on. And then later on, we find out that wasn't the case. And Amethyr is an idiot. He did something stupid, and Elaine had a reprimand her. We don't know what that entails. Other than that, her foot is very red. She's rubbing it when they get back.
Brown at one point.
That means that she was having her period, and she kicked Amethyr in the cunt.
Yeah.
Right up her coochie.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Damn, Taffy.
Well,
just blood splat sound is all.
I don't even know what to say to that. Jono's chair just gives fart noises anytime he moves. So just wait for it to happen.
Otto Bennington's a lucky man if that's the sound effect you know that well. Yeah.
Late than never. That's true.
I hope you're okay.
Niniave is in the exhibition hall.
Oh, I do. I guess I do.
So she's.
I mean, every once in a while. I mean, we all do. We just like to blame Jono.
So she's like working herself up.
Oh wait,
but not in a like fun way.
Angrily. I was
better late than
say
pregnant.
that.
I believe that was what was said in. Is it the first or second Ghostbusters by Cheech Marin?
Pretty sure that's what Amethyr said after that ice pepper event.
Nice pepper juice. It's already white. Where was I? Very important parts. Oh, so yeah, Nynaeve's in the exhibition hall getting angry. And I love the fact that she does realize that like she's just like psyching herself up in the most aggressive way possible. Like, what would happen if they'd given her roids? Like, would she be the strongest channeler ever? Because like, can you imagine like the roid rage of Nynaeve? Like, she might just jerk her hair out.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just she has like short hair like we do, Jono, just because she's ripped her hair out.
Just looks like some like aggressive lesbian from the 90s, and that's okay with me. Like just this weird like scissored, not scissoring haircut that's kind of just missing pieces. Like Trinity from that's not right. I think that'd be a very beautiful point.
I mean, I'm angry every time my hemorrhoids flare up.
Yeah, seriously? We just talked about the blood that happened.
It gets me right past my block.
That would be a good commercial.
Also,
Joe,
wonderful
hemorrhoid cream. You could make some money off of that. That's a jingle right there.
It's extra friction too if you're fucking it. Like it's just kind of like dangling on the side of your dick.
Holy shit.
And then a servant comes in.
Yeah. She touches the collar and feels suffering, agony, and woe.
Whoa.
You know my you guys remember never mind. She's so strong that she wants to weep. She builds up her anger at the black object controlling Rand just as old Mog enters. What is gonna happen?
It's just.
Do you think it's weird she recognizes her through the disguise somehow? Like
it's not
like, that's old
because
Mog.
Remember, she had seen her in an earlier scene briefly in the dream.
Oh yeah,
with Birgit.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what.
Yeah, so it's like somehow like all right. Well,
Yeah,
also
we
she's
heard
not
that
carrying a feather duster or a broom or a mop. It's obvious she's not really a servant, Jono.
You don't belong
Have
here.
you seen a servant just walk around like she owns the place, not carrying any cleaning implements of any kind?
I have not. I have fucking not. So obvious. It is
Time
obvious.
to arrive. Welcome.
Hello.
This is our show. This is how it's always been. We've been doing it for a long time. Get strapped in.
And strap on.
So is that a new friend?
I think so. I mean,
Oh,
maybe
hello,
not.
new friend.
I can't
Could be
keep
new
track of
comments,
everybody.
or it could be we're
Yeah.
drunk and forget things. That doesn't sound like
Yeah.
Joe or me.
Yeah, you guys basically every single week is wiped clean from your brains.
It's kind of fun.
I've noticed that
It
about
makes
you
it
guys.
better.
I'm like, remember
It makes
this,
it better.
remember that. You're like, no, I don't remember shit,
Nah.
dumbass. Like all three of you were like that.
You know, for the most part, I used to remember things back in the day when it was an audio podcast because I would edit it and I'd be like, I'd have to re-listen to the whole thing. I'd be like,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'd be the only one that remembers it. But now that we're live,
Well, that's okay because you guys are the performers and I'm part of the fan club and we remember what you guys say.
yeah,
And so
that's true.
it's okay. It's part of your shtick of
And that fan
forgetting.
club we found over on myspace.com/podcast, myspace.com/Taffy. It's the new Twitter time. That's where we're all going to congregate. That's where we're all going to congregate to talk about the Wheel of Time from now on. myspace.com/podcast.
If you want to reach tWoTcast, you can only reach them from myspace.com.
The best way to find us is on myspace.com.
/tWoTcast.
I have a serious fucking discussion point, you pieces of shit.
Jono,
go.
introduce Olmog like she's entering the wrestling ring.
You know I'm terrible at that. I hate wrestling.
Oh, shit.
So, legitimate question
there's a
before we
song?
enter: is this the first?
You cut that song off, Jono? What's wrong?
I'm sorry. It sounded like my mom blowing someone, and it just kind of gave me bad.
No, that was
memories.
the mixed of a crowd.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And then this was the feet on the ground of like with Mog coming in.
Yeah,
I
that
was
could
doing
still
that. I
sound
was
like my
trying
mom.
to do the
Yeah.
intro. Okay, it's your mom coming in.
Well, looks like I've got an erection. I said looks like.
Looks like.
Yeah.
Looks like I've got an erection.
Yeah.
Okay.
If this sounds
Jono
could not be.
purposely starches his pants so it
Send
looks
Joe
like
a
he's just always
picture.
walking around with a
Can
chubby.
you send Joe a picture of what it looks
Oh
like?
yeah.
Not
Looks
me or
like
anybody
he's got
else.
an
Just
erection.
send it to Joe and send it to my husband.
Oh, let's see what.
We're
I don't
taking
want
some
an actual
good
picture of
quality
your
time.
dick, Jono.
Yeah.
What was your actual point, Jono?
So I was gonna send a picture of like my thumb with its thumbnail extra large, like my penis's thumbnail or penis nail. Anyway, no. So the point, the question I was gonna ask actually is this the first like female on female Chandler fight that we have, where like we actually see the weaves? Because like Rand, when he's fought any Forsaken in the first few books, is acting on total instinct. He may see them, but not really know what the fuck he's doing, especially the first couple books. I think this is the first, like, not actually Aes Sedai on Sedai, because only one of them, well, neither of them.
I guess it is, because like Moraine, I mean, what have we gotten really? Like Moraine comes in and just like Bael'Far's Balal, you know, like that's been the biggest.
That's man on woman, though,
but it's which
I love to watch.
There's
woman on man.
I think this is kind of the first,
like same sex power fight.
Yeah, and even when Rand's doing it, he's always just flailing
cognizant.
around, like he doesn't know what he's doing. You know,
Yeah.
like this fight is like the first fight where they're like slice, hit. You know, like they're like actually going head to head. Yeah,
and it's fucking awesome. Like I love the fact that, like, again, first off, the third party view that doesn't really exist, but we all fucking want to, is fantastic. But just like, in general, that's the way that like Nynaeve learning on the fucking fly, because like she's just an incredible Chandler.
Yeah.
Of, you know, like tries to, like, uses the first thing that she can think of is what is it? How Egwene had tried to cut off what's her name in book 3, and then all of a sudden, like on her toes, and I don't know why I keep doing this. I look like the world's worst fighter.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's me chopping, and all spirit weaves fertile. So it's just
they are scissoring the first complex and wins.
Yeah, simultaneously.
Okay.
All right, Olmog.
It's very
entering
similar,
the wrestling ring.
yes.
Go, Jono.
I was drinking. I didn't hear you. What?
Olmog entering the wrestling ring. Go, Jono.
Taffy, sing.
That doesn't sound like a crowd at all.
No, it
that
sounds
was good.
great.
That was good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jono, you're announcing Olmog. She's in this corner. Go.
Why do I? You know I hate wrestling. Fuck this.
What?
All right, Olmog in this corner.
That's it.
That's all I got.
What's wrong with you? Hailing from the Two Rivers, has to get red hot angry to channel, tugging on a braid with both hands. Niniave! That's how you do it. Come on.
I've got an unconscious wife, man. I want to keep her.
Come
ready.
on.
Oh, whisper it.
All right, let's see.
Balefire hose. Balefire hose comes later, Patrick.
Balefire hose is also.
This is one of my favorite
wonderful
fights of
term.
all time in space, and I can't wait to see it in this show. Can't wait. Even if they do it badly, I'm going to be like, bravo, that was amazing.
Yeah,
I loved every
yeah.
second of it. I don't care. I don't even care how bad. Like, there's no. It's impossible to show this badly.
I'll tell you what. You know who's some spoiled dicks? The answer is you and me. Because I remember when we started, and this is a really dumb, unnecessary, like way back machine thing.
This day in tWoTcast history,
15 fucking years ago, our entire thing was like, I just hope this fucking exists. Like, I just hope that, like, and now here it is. And what's our response? What do you say, Joe?
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
No, what was our response? Disappointed.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And also, in fairness, it's partly disappointing. But sometimes I come back to the fact that, like, just getting drunk with your older brother Tom, whose name should not be mentioned anymore because he's a dead piece
We don't
of shit.
talk about him. His name is Tom Riddle. You know what that translates into?
I am smoking dickhead.
Everything comes back to Harry Potter, guys. Anyway, Sliced and Whiplash. Sorry, John.
I love it. No, it's fucking. Next. This is why.
Olmog counters with compulsion that sort of hits Nynaeve, and she's sliced, and she says, "Love, devotion. I love this. This is amazing." And I was just like, "Holy shit, that's horrifying." Even like it's like she got hit with like the spray of a wave instead of getting smashed by the wave, and she was still like, "Ooh, I love this lady." Wait a fucking second. No, I don't. Like it's weird how like the weave kind of like
had no idea how angry that would make her and make her.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which has really fueled her being able to fight her, which is her own.
Joe, I've got to say, that is the best simile I have heard on this show probably ever.
Did I miss it? I'm sorry. Did I talk
maybe in the
over?
last?
No, not at all.
What did
maybe
he
since
say?
the
What
first
did he say?
re-reread.
He said that it's like a
it's like hitting by the spray from a wave instead of getting smashed by it. Like she only felt it a little, but it wasn't like she got smashed by it.
That was so poetic. My woman brain couldn't compute. And
in fairness,
thank you for explaining that to me.
We'll slow it down, Taffy.
Okay, thank you.
So a simile.
Anyway, she makes a knife shield, and it's amazing, and it doesn't work because it gets sliced and blocked. But I the fight of them, like with basically both having bladed shields ready to like slam into each other's weaves, like is horrifying.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Fucking high stakes.
It's crazy how close Nynaeve comes to severing Olmog.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Also, it does it's a whole bunch of slice, and eventually Nynaeve wins by the fact that she realizes like this old bitch is actually very tired. Like she's like it's not anger, it's strain, and so pretends like
Nynaeve is she's so brave here. Like she doesn't get scared. She just is like, It's
she's
it's
scared.
so
I think
awesome.
she's scared initially, which I love. But her anger's overwhelming that because she's channeling, so she's
As
staying
soon as she
angry,
recognizes her, she gets pissed.
Yeah,
and then that's
and then
all
gets
she
more
can
mad
think
when
about.
the compulsion starts to hit her a little bit because she's
That's
like,
yeah,
that fucking bitch did that to me before. Like she goes like Super Saiyan and fucking Super Saiyan
forgets
is
about
a show.
everything except for just like
It's a show called Dragon Ball Z.
And I think it's important to recognize that this only works, and I mean this in a very positive way, because I don't use sarcasm, with a female character to have this range of just bizarre emotions. And only a woman could do that.
That's true.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the fight, Olmog tells us about the sad bracelets, which I think is kind of funny. Or an interesting, weird tidbit. I guess she's giving her exposition because she's just talking to kind of distract her, which Nynaeve figures out. But for the reader, it's interesting that we're like learning about the sad bracelets while this is happening. Put the collar on a man who channels a woman wearing the bracelets can make him do whatever she wishes. True, but it will not stop him from going mad, and there's a flow the other way too. Eventually he will begin to control you, so that you end up with a struggle at every hour. Like I feel like that part of it, like I forget about. So like when it happens to Rand later, I'm not like, that's not in my brain of like, this is going to fuck her up eventually. Like, and I guess Semirog did put only one of the bracelets on to, I guess, diminish that effect, maybe? Do you think?
So I think first off, Rand's...
But I still just, like, it's just crazy that that's the case, though, Don't remember.
It's an interesting thing of, like, where did this knowledge come from? And her response is kind of like, if you know where you're coming from, you can read things and pick up innuendo. But who the fuck?
Like to you, the knowledge is lost, but to me, I went through your libraries and I was like,
I can translate.
Well, I can piece all this shit together, and I know what I'm looking for, kind of thing. Because it was made after she went into the.
So I think we brought this up in the last episode or two of like, where the fuck did this thing come from? Because it's made of Quandalar, so presumably the only people who would know how to do it would be those from the Age of Legends. But it post dates her, so obviously it's going to be someone, an Aes Sedai who lived past the Age of Legends into the Third Age, who was afraid of, like, not necessarily Black Ajar or anything. It was just someone afraid of what was happening in the Breaking. But also, it predates the Adam, as far as we know, by hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 or 2,000 years. At least 2,000, right? Because I think actually it was Luther Pandrag, someone brought him an Adam. So this is 2,000 years before like the original Adam. It's very strange. It doesn't really make sense when
the Adam are post-sealing, but I don't. So the male one is too. Moghedien even says it in this.
Yeah, Moghedien says that.
Fight. She basically says like, I had to find out about that after I was sealed away. Like after she was released from being sealed.
Do you think someone originally made this for Luce Theron?
No, I think it was post break. Like I think it's like they're trying to, like, the men are going crazy and they have to find a way
post breaking or post. I mean, if it's post sealing, he was still there after they were sealed.
So Taffy's correct. Yeah, Taffy's correct. As of course she is.
That's true.
I'm right.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Is Otto telling
Taffy,
you
you're nailing it
because he's a man?
What?
You're perfect. And also, yes.
Okay, so I actually loved this part when Moghedien is, and like we can tell before Nynaeve picks up that she's obviously trying to distract her, but it's cool to get all that info. And like,
it's also cool to see Nynaeve figure it out too. So I mean, that's why it's written that way.
No, for sure. Yeah, and she's just so incredible in this whole situation.
I don't. So answer your own question, Taffy. Do you think they were made to like handle Luce Theron, maybe, or is it just like any of the male channelers that were going crazy? Do you think there's like other Sadlets out there? I guess is what I'm asking. You know, like, or is it just like one pair that they were like, let's fucking get Lews Therin for that? You know,
I don't. That was just the first thing I thought of. That like someone was like, I don't know. He seems like the person that it would be made for, especially if after he starts losing it. Maybe.
Yeah. And obviously, just because like it's the 13th most powerful Forsaken that are captured, doesn't mean that there's not any number afterwards that we're still free, right? That we're you know, whatever you want to call them. If they're not the Forsaken, they're there for
Dreadlords.
Yeah, thank you, Lead Lords.
Yeah,
Red Lords.
Yeah,
and you know, it's like they could have been those behind it. It doesn't have to be, you know, Lews Therin either. Thereafter, they were just hundreds or
it's interesting that they're
tens of thousands.
All right, skipping to the end of the next chapter when they decide to drop them in the ocean. Dumb plan. What would your plan be?
I don't hate the ocean, like, because like clearly they can be found by need, right? Like depending upon, like, you know, someone who's a dark friend can have the need to find them just as hard, as, you know, someone trying to protect Rand. So the ocean, you know, unless you just go full on Lord of the Rings and toss them in a fucking volcano.
Dragonmount, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Would that do anything?
It doesn't matter. If you have to find the goddamn thing at the bottom of a fucking volcano, you know, good luck to you. Because unless, you know, you've got Andril who can channel out lava.
I think you should just make a box that doesn't have a hinge or way in. Just put a wooden box around it, turn it into Gwendolyn.
They don't know how to make Gwendolyn yet. They don't know how to make Gwendolyn yet.
I know they don't.
That being said, absolutely brilliant, fucking just terrible idea.
then you just put it in like the foundation of a building, and no, you don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just a brick at that point.
That's an amazing way to get rid of the golem, though. If like just kind of like toss him in something and then Gwendolyn that motherfucker up.
Just put him in a box and close the door. It doesn't have a keyhole.
Yeah. That's
then you go skimming and just push it off the edge.
Why? Leave it there. You know what? Can you make Gwendolyn a window you can look through?
No, because someone will find a way to break it.
You can't break it. It gets stronger.
Someone will find a way. Someone will find a way.
The only person is the dark one. Anyway, where the fuck were we? Taffy, you're drunk.
Nynaeve realizes old Mog is struggling, like she is, and throws the sadlets at her. She throws the collar at her.
Yeah. It goes boink.
Which I think is hilarious.
Perfect sound effect. It is a perfect idea, and also,
it's also still scary because she's like, I'm pretending to like get tired and fall over a little bit, but I'm also actually tired. Like it's like you're like, oh fuck, this is scary.
Just like the Gallat battle with Rapist Valda, you know, when he pretends to like he's just slowly tiring, ends up actually tiring.
Like that.
God damn it. Yeah. So only thing here is you would like to think that a Forsaken who's 200 years plus 3,000 wouldn't be thrown off by just being hit in the nose.
I think it was just the pure like I haven't done this in a while. Like when was the last time Moghedien dueled somebody? You know what I mean? Like it's not like she's like Crucio like every 5 seconds. You know, like
we don't know that. But so, you know, she's only been free for like 6-9 months, something like that. Before that, 3,000 years of solitude.
Does Andril's talent of traveling count for skimming too? I don't know.
That's a great question.
Just actually. Gateway it out into space. Gateway it into the sun.
Also, terrible question.
That's how you get. That's how you get rid of the sadlets.
But Jesus. Just don't open your mouth.
It's like an airlock. Starts sucking all the air off the planet. Throw it in.
But
that's awesome. I've never thought about that happening. Channeling a gateway to space.
Who's powerful enough to do that, Rand?
No.
Just put him in the sun.
Ooh, like the Death
sucks. Everyone gets sucked into space.
Sorry. You think we're gonna see Death Gates? Those are some of my favorite. Those are so cool.
I hope so too.
It's what Shanna calls her vagina. She has so many names. I love my wife.
She's
Who doesn't?
she's
Far too many. Dude.
That's what I was saying.
Damn it.
What were you saying, Jono?
Yeah. Oh, anyway, I just find it interesting that like technically she was dueling and grueling like only like 6-8 months ago for her, or 6-9 months ago, excuse me. In her own personal.
She's been imprisoned for thousands of years.
In stasis. She doesn't fucking feel
But we don't
There's
know.
nothing.
Like, so no, that's not true necessarily. Like, there's some of them are closer to the surface than others, and they experience time.
She
and like
was
we understand
clearly
that.
not.
So she
It's
wasn't
obvious.
necessarily near, but she might have felt time. We don't know how much. Was it thousands of years? No, but it could have been 200.
What the fuck? We'd have no basis for that. There's no.
That's what I'm saying. There's no.
Her
You have
vagina
no.
appears
You
tight.
have no
Like-
basis to say she was hanging out like 5 minutes ago.
I saw her vagina.
okay. So Jono has proof.
Yes.
Oh yeah. How long were her meat curtains?
They were, I would say, pretty tight. Only like 5 or 6 inches below
shit.
the.
waist?
So only like 300 years
Mid-thigh.
old. Okay. Mid-thigh. So
Never been
listen,
that
I
age?
support Jono. Fine, but again,
Thank
was she
you, Glenn.
dueling in her real life? Like, was she?
She's
literally known for like hanging out in the shadows and not doing shit.
Oh, yeah.
known for
That's all I'm saying.
grueling.
Like, she has. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jean
Listen,
Kate
Jean,
appears. She has a black fluted rod that shoots out uncontrollable leg-thick bars of white-hot fire.
Same way. A little thinner.
Nynaeve barely jumps out of the way.
Teenage
guys
boy
wanna-
comes out.
You guys want to talk about with that scene?
What is the purpose of this terangrial? I think we've discussed it before, but what?
I think it's
fuck
just
is the
like
purpose?
here's a terangrial that gives you balefire for like low-hanging Aes Sedai that don't know like how to do it on their own. But then at the same time, it's clearly made before they understood the dangers of balefire because it's made for like. It's like a fire. Like somebody joked about a fire hose earlier, but like Tom said that 10 years ago or whatever the fuck. This day in tWoTcast history. Tom was like, it's like a fire hose and you're just swinging around the yard. Like one guy on the end of a fire hose.
Like from the first X-Men, that dude that takes his glasses off and he goes like this and he just wrecks that whole. Yeah. He takes his glasses come off or something, and then he goes like this and he accidentally like cuts like
previously on X-Men.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Right?
No, you're exactly
correctly?
fucking right.
You got it. You got
Okay,
all
that's just what I imagined.
No, you know we have to shit on.
It's like when Cyclops takes off his visor, as we all know.
His visor.
Yeah, our once in future co-host with us. That piece of shit.
The mirror. I mean, like the fact that you're here
Previously.
for Tom and you mentioned the X-Men, and not only that, but Cyclops is like,
hey,
like what's happening?
I'm channeling Tom. I absorbed his energy.
I mean, clearly.
Well, congrats. You absorbed very, very little.
Congratulations. You're better at being Tom than Tom is. He said fire
you absorbed
hose. Taffy said Cyclops visor.
Oh.
Anyway, she rips the hull apart. That's crazy.
I love
and I like how she does it again. Like she's like weakened from it, and then she's like, "Oh, here we go again." She like,
yeah, she's fucking
She
going
does it
crazy with it, and clearly killed herself, right? Like collapse. The courtyard collapses on her, right?
Maybe.
No,
she's just gone.
We see her later. Yeah.
Oh, fucking! That's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see her in the next book with.
That's so dumb. She should totally have died from that. She was cutting the fucking palace in half, and it crumbled, and then like Nynaeve's like, "Well, she's gone. Fuck," and I'm like, "Please be dead." You know.
I got bad news.
What's Taffy's opinion on the Iceman slide?
Oh.
Taffy, this is a theory that Tom and
I remember, but I haven't. Should I just go? I haven't heard Iceman slide for a while.
So Iceman, classically as an X-Man, can like shoot ice in front of him and slide upon it.
Right,
and
but
then,
how
like,
is it
the
related
ice,
to
the slide isn't supported by anything, and theoretically, so there's no flying in the Wheel of Time. But me and Tom think that it could Iceman slide with air and water.
Right.
So like you
Okay,
make the air
yes.
cold and then you have water, you could weave an Iceman slide, and then you could slide around like Iceman. And it's totally possible.
Okay, thank you for I haven't heard that for a while. I remember that. Thank you, Beej. Jono, why are you saying no?
So I don't have a problem with the idea behind it, except for this thing called gravity.
You argue with it
Again,
constantly.
this thing called gravity.
It's
which
an
would
Iceman
then-
slide.
Yeah, that is
It's
subject
falling
to
away behind
gravity.
you, Jono. You're on the front part of it.
Okay, so does someone channel water into the air and then you split the weave and then you
So
freeze
the
it?
idea here is that you are
you're
channeling
both.
yourself.
You're channeling both.
You're channeling both water and air sufficient to pull enough moisture and then freeze it as your
Glenn said
rectum is
Elaine keeps
gliding
herself in
through
the air with air, and String Flame just said no.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's talking about that or the Iceman slide. As a scientist, I endorse this theory. Thank you, Madovi.
Okay, we've got a scientific backer now.
Okay.
Egwene is raised into the air on a platform air, but not done by her, though.
On
But
air.
not done by her.
This is self-perpetuating, which they have said over and over, you can't do this.
Well, I don't know. It depends.
If all that can be done, then Iceman slide works. I love that the Iceman slide has come back. Good job.
Is
Good
it changing?
job,
Like you have water, so they're channeling water and they're making it freeze instantaneously? Or
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Cold air mixed with water, ice. You're sliding on ice. Doesn't matter if it's
Okay.
collapsing behind you. You're still sliding forward.
You're taking water.
Gravity and momentum.
Are you taking moisture and water particles from the air to create the slide?
That's correct.
I don't know where you're getting. I don't know where you're getting the water. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
women's rights.
Yes,
They don't
just
need
like
a water
women's
source
right,
to
women
channel water.
Don't matter.
They just
yes.
channel water. They don't need a water source. It's not like they're like, I'm near a river, I can channel water to help heal this person. No, they just channel.
Okay.
Anyway, open courtyard
So-
crumbles on the ground. Old Maga's gone. That's crazy because the balefire didn't go anywhere near her. Anyway, Jean Cade is also gone and apparently alive later, but then fuck that bitch. God damn it.
Jean Cade is a name I barely remember, but now it sounds like it should have been like closer to Johnny Cage.
It's probably
it
like
feels like it's kind of a cool name.
G-A-I-N-E.
Yeah,
It's
it
probably
is.
like
Yeah.
Hermione, and it's like G-N-E-I-N-E, K-I-D.
There's the Wheel of
But,
Time
you
is
know,
based
it's
on
Jean Cade.
Harry Potter. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I wrote, did she kill herself? If so, spectacular way to go. But apparently I was wrong. She
Did
survived
not.
later.
Unfortunately, did not. So let's wrap this chapter and battle up.
Alana does tell them to pull moisture from the air in the kitchen. That's from the
Yeah.
show. It's from the show. What have they gotten right in terms of the laws of physics and how to channel?
That's true. I can't disagree there. Also, doesn't that happen?
A gust of wind could help your thrust.
I feel like you do need to. I feel like you do need to take the particles from somewhere. It needs to come from moisture in the air.
I
don't
believe
think
that.
so.
It's going to do the
I-
water.
that's my
I don't
memory.
think so. What are you
I
talking
think
about?
so.
Fire? They channel fire all the time. Is there fire nearby? No, they just channel fire. It's one
do
of
you
the
think fire is
elements
made
of
out
the
of?
fucking one power.
So, but
They're just
again,
channeling heat.
there's
It's
a
not
reason-
nearby. They're not stealing heat from somebody. They're just
Do you
channeling.
think the Aiel or just the Aiel like wise ones are just going to channel water?
Thank you, Glenn. You're from the show. Thanks, Toby.
Again,
The weave itself makes the physical element. Thank you, Glenn.
but there has to be something. to feed
Obviously,
to,
it does.
right?
Obviously, it does.
There's got. Otherwise, why would there
No.
ever be issues in the?
It's
Aiel
the
ways?
elements
They
of the
have
fucking
wise
universe.
ones.
It's the force that drives the universe. It's the elemental forces that drive the universe. They're in control of them. They're pulling them from nothingness.
But there
The
has
whole
to be at least
basis of
something
this
other.
power system.
How? Like think
I can't
about
believe
it.
we're having
Why
this
is
discussion.
why is it that the Aiel fucking like wise ones aren't just like, well, it's time to rain today? You know.
I don't know. They're not powerful enough to do it.
Air and
excellent
water
question.
are the two female powers. The only time in recorded history, as you find out at the end of book 4. I don't know how I lost the number.
One space. You're channeling the element from the Force. I mean, the one power.
The only time in recorded history.
Joey said, I hate to say it, but Jono has an amazing point. He does have an amazing point. If that's how the basis of these books had been written, but they weren't. And when you channel, you're just pulling from the energy of the universe and creating it on the spot. Never once has there been like, I need this water source nearby to channel water or fire or air or any. I mean, well, air's everywhere, but you know what I mean. Then what's spirit? Then what are they doing with spirit, Jono? Is it part of their souls every time they're using spirit? Is Nynaeve used a part of her soul and her thread of life because she's using spirit to cut? No.
Why are you laughing?
Because it's ridiculous that we're even having this conversation.
That's a different fucking spell.
Oh, like a Avada Kedavra.
Ridiculous.
Chapter 55, Into the Deep.
Yeah, thank you. That's how you fucking transition. And I know that.
They've got what they came for. Nynaeve gives the Sadlets to Doman, and he do be dropping them into the deepest part of the ocean. Amathera gets a serving job. Let's talk about it. That's that chapter.
Great recap. It is.
Thank you, Taffy.
Into the deep again.
Rain had to make clouds to make rain. Yeah, I think weather's complicated, but I still think they're pulling from nothingness to do it.
So,
okay,
there's so much to go into there.
String said, can take heat from fire, can move water, but can make from the one power too. See? Yeah. You can do things with what's around you, sure. I'm saying it's not necessary. You don't need it. Iceman slides possible. I think this whole chat is decided.
The whole concept of channeling. That's the whole concept of channeling is taking from the elements of the planet, right?
Yeah,
I love that we got the theoretical. Iceman slides decided.
Iceman slides possible. Everyone knows it. I mean,
next chapter. Also, Iceman slides bullshit.
Nynaeve ran for the meeting. She's running for the meeting place.
Yes.
Yeah, she's running from the exhibition hall. She loses her anger and Sidar.
Which is
sees Leandrin and Rihanna. And which is good because then they don't see her.
And she said it looks like they're blasting people out of the way with air. They're just like
whipping them and stuff,
pushing people.
Get out of the way, bitch! This whole city's coming apart at the seams. I don't like. So here's a question: how far behind were they in finding what they wanted? Clearly, a lot, because like they were nowhere near the fight with Olmog and Nynaeve, right? They're after the Sadlets. They didn't come near them. They're in there. They're just hanging out in the palace. You don't. Didn't they have like snippets from like them from like back in Tyr that they were gonna look in the exhibition halls for what they were looking for? They still didn't find them.
I think they just
like,
didn't have the balls
these
to
Black
get
Asha?
them yet. I think they knew that they were there. They just didn't have the balls to get them.
Didn't they have
Joe,
like? It's a piece of a. Remember when the Black Asha's like leaving them clues like. We're going to go into Tanchico or maybe this place, but really it's Tanchico. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then wasn't one of them like a piece of like the exhibition hall in the Panarch's Palace, blah, blah, blah. Like, come see the world's most amazing, blah, blah, blah. You know, like it was a news. There was a guy hawking it on the street. Like it's a cool show to see.
So yes, that's what Egwene used as her book to kind of use need to look at. But they didn't know anything.
And I know they don't have that. They can't go into the world, but they also have Dream Triangle, so they're fucking up that way too. So clearly they don't know what to do there either.
It's kind of it does maybe kind of.
It seemed like they had such a plan, and then like when we got there, they were nowhere near the plan. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe wait, but hold on, let's think about this though. How long were Rand and company in Tyr after?
A while. Long enough for Elaine and him to canoodle and in the hallways and shit, you know.
True, very true. But don't forget
hallway canoodling.
What happened? How did they get west?
Canoodling takes a while. A couple days.
I love that song too.
Yeah.
How long did it take Elaine and Nynaeve to go? They took the fastest ship possible, and then made it go faster than it ever has by her channeling. So technically, the amount of time they may have had there limited. Hence why at the beginning of all this, they haven't even taken the palace yet. And like at some point you may say like, so Beej, by the way, I have Into the Deep. That's what we call fisting me. So yeah,
Good
exactly.
Good one, Robot.
Good one, Joe So they really didn't get to the palace until very, very recently.
That's true. I mean, they've only been there a couple of days, but I mean, I feel like at least maybe. I mean, well, the second they find out that they're there, they go there. So like maybe a day or two, maybe. But like, I feel like Tamail's fucking with Amathera for an extended period of time. So, like, what are the rest of them doing? And also, why is she fucking with the Panarch when they're like, we have more important things to do than shove ice peppers up the Panarch's vagina?
No,
like, it's
first
a weird
off,
move.
we never have more important things than that. Fuck you. Fuck you.
All right.
But never.
That's a very important task.
Thank you. Secondly, and Taffy, please interject at any time.
Well, I'm calling on you. I saw you raising your hand.
I will answer.
Jono.
Yes. But the corollary here, though, is, and items are fucking hidden. At least a couple of them are
It's sitting on a pedestal.
Well, the disc is, or the
a
seal
couple
is.
of them are hidden.
A couple.
The seals are
the
hidden.
seal itself.
Yeah, Olmog's hidden the seals. Yeah, that I got.
Olmog's hidden the seal.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's very possible that other things are hidden too. Obviously, the leash and bracelet's not hidden, but who the fuck looks at it? Like, who gives a shit? Like, it looks like something.
I don't know. I feel like Nynaeve goes anywhere near it. She's like, sadness. Like, but I mean, I guess it's when she actually physically touches it.
And she's also better than these people.
I'm just saying, you have 24 hours. You're not going straight to the exhibition hall and like just picking up everything. I don't know. I'm just like, is this it? Is this it? What am I looking
makes
for?
You feel any better? They walk past half of a Terangriel to the greatest Sangreal
That is true.
in history.
That is true.
So, whoops.
Also, we forgot to mention this, and I love it. But like when Jean Cade, Gianni is bale firing with a black fluted rod, all the shit. Like she hits a cabinet, and the whole thing evaporates and just goes away. But then Quendalar just drops the ground and stays on. And I was just like,
fucking love it.
Amazing.
Yeah. I fucking love it.
I mean, will they do that in the show? Probably not. But I hope they do.
If you remember too, like right before that, they say it's not about the Quendalar gene.
Yeah, gene?
It's not? Oh, it is, Joe.
Where are the saddlers, Jono? In the pantry, over the sink, next to my bottle of dick cream.
Did you say dick cream?
Anyway, Nynaeve finds Elaine and Egwene.
Did you say dick queen?
Yeah. Oh, not Egwene. I mean Agananon.
Yeah. Dick ball. Get away from go away.
I hyphenate both Egwene and Again in my notes as egg.
It's tough right now to know what the fuck is what.
So I was like, Egwene's here? Oh, wait. Oh.
Gainen.
What? Gainen. Got it.
Again.
Anyway. She hugs Elaine. And then Amathera has caused some sort of trouble, but we don't want to hear about that here.
And what was it, Taffy? What'd they do?
What they do here?
Shoot, what are you trying to reenact? She already did it.
Kick her
she tried to warn / rally her legion, I guess, and then Elaine had to kick her in the cunt, I think, right?
Kick her in the cunt. Kick her in the cunt, then kick her in the cunt.
I hope that's on my
Okay,
I mean, it's gonna
we can arrange that.
Yeah, I'm in charge of it. No, I had your wife sign off on that. I'm in charge of your epitaph.
Thank you.
It'll be on MySpace so he doesn't forget.
MySpace epitaph.
Your epitaph's going to be a QR code to myspace.com/. It's the new Twitter time. That's where everyone's going to get their news of the Wheel of Time from now on. It's the new Twitter time. MySpace.com/tWoTcast. MySpace.com/Sing with Taffy, obviously.
Jono / Epitaph coming soon.
Yeah. Oh man, Genie is French. It's also pronounced Jono. Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's me.
It's you.
Oh man, when the palace still shook occasionally.
Fuck yeah.
Something
ground as if in memory.
Yeah, ground as if in memory. Elaine was worried that that was Nynaeve, and she was not wrong. And then Nynaeve's like, I had Olmog and I let her go and I'm sorry and blah blah blah. And she's like, don't be mad at me. And she's like, you had one of the Forsaken?
Yeah.
You know, like
This
that part is
whole thing
amazing.
Yeah.
It's a very bizarre because like it has a massive implication on how Nynaeve feels.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Because like, in the next book, she's going to apologize for being afraid because she dared not beat one of the 13 most powerful people in evil history. On the other hand, Elaine, like, the implication here is Elaine feels the same way because she also violated what should have been the plan. Right?
Yeah.
Nynaeve technically did the dumbest thing possible, but also unavoidable. Nynaeve is unavoidable.
And you lived, Dana, is a great point. And you lived? Like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It is.
Nynaeve's like, I let her go. I'm sorry. And she's like, you survived. I think is the point we should be discussing.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Kind of
it's like Nynaeve didn't court this. She went to where she was supposed to go and recognized Moghedien. And thankfully, started the fight. Elaine.
And then she's like, but did you get what you went for? And she's like, oh yeah, I got all the stuff. Like, she's like,
she
I did the
apologized
thing
for
we
it,
came
too.
here
She's
to
like, I
do.
shouldn't have
I'm really upset that I
channeled-
let a Forsaken go.
Yeah, but then she's
So-
like, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to, channel and get attention and stuff. And then Elaine is able to completely like without lying, just kind of gloss over that she had completely blown and she wasn't supposed to do what she was supposed to do either. But she just kind of because Aegeanin looked at her like, yeah. She's like, wait,
it's
not
she
you.
keeps giving
That's
her
Elaine
like,
doing that.
No, I
Aegeanin.
and don't worry, I don't shut up ever.
Good.
That's true.
But I like how she told her, she's like, Aegeanin was worried about you, and she's like, you were worried about me.
You were worried about me.
And
we're
patched up
best
their
friends
friendship.
now.
Immediately, the whole thing drops because I think Nynaeve had just dealt with someone who was truly evil, so she can't hold up the farce. She's actually mad at Aegeanin anymore. She can't even pretend.
And it continues to fall apart in the last half of the chapter as well. Like she's like, I guess the male Adam is just like the female Adam, not that different, like you and me, right, bud?
Yeah, right, buddy.
Right, bud. We're friends now, right?
Right, bud.
Perfect.
So close, but not the same, but close. You know? Are we besties now? Oh man. So Julian picks a lock and he lets them out into a ring of 300 sailors, which I think is bizarre still insane to me for some reason. I don't know why does 300 sound so insane? I don't know. Like 300 sailors sounds like a lot of sailors.
Again, we could repeat our earlier Persian jokes if we wanted to, but we don't. But Doman does say earlier that he's got like 25, 30 sailing ships.
First of all, Doman does not say anything.
Doman do say it.
Yeah, he do be saying.
Doman do say that he had 25, 30 sailing vessels, something like that, earlier on. So, 10, 15
at least,
each.
Yeah, at least. I mean, it depends on the size of the ship, right?
It's true. Also, to a certain extent, who are you trading with? Like, I still don't understand that.
He's not trading. He's smuggling. He's a full-on he's Han Solo with a fleet. Like he doesn't have one ship. It's not just him and Chewie hanging out.
Set up man.
Also, Bail Dillman needs a Chewie character. Like he needs a right-hand man. Florin Gelb was like a shit heel that he kicked off his boat, and he's the closest thing we have to like a second in command. He needs a buddy.
Chewie is a Aegeanin.
Is that it?
Yeah, he's about to. Yeah. He's about to get Aegeanin. Yeah.
Yeah,
they've already fought.
Han Solo making out with Chewbacca. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I jerk
furry
off
action.
Yeah.
Han Solo also comes first. He has legit cargo
sometimes-
to cover for the illicit. That's true. He needs
His cargo is his penis.
full on real sailors.
It is.
This day in
someday maybe I'll
Twatcast
regale you guys.
this day in Twatcast history, Jono, we did talk about. You said soldiers, and I was like, they're sailors. And then you were like, we just went on a giant tangent of them being dressed as Popeye the Sailor Man and all having anchor tattoos.
Where's the clip? Where's the clip, Joe?
I didn't have enough time for clips. I did show movies.
I could help you if you want me.
In fairness,
I don't know how to do
and
it.
I don't like to admit it because I hate Joe, but Joe
Mhm.
does do most of the work here.
He does
Thanks,
a few
Jono.
things.
Thanks,
he does
Jono.
a thing or two.
Anyway,
Joe.
Tom yells at the women to hurry up.
Too.
Am I right?
Yeah, as they should. Slow bitches.
But then he bows to Amathera, and she's like, "I'm just a simple country lawyer." I don't know what you're talking about. You know?
Be much better if she said, "I'm actually just a simple." God damn it! I'm thinking of the stupid SNL skit with Phil Hartman. I'm just a
That's
simple
what I said. I'm a simple
caveman.
country lawyer.
The caveman
Caveman lawyer.
lawyer. I forgot
But that's the
about
bit.
that. I haven't seen that for so long.
With that much semen, you could make an Iceman slide for miles.
You don't know how old these seamen are.
It doesn't
They could
matter
be
the
Tom's
age,
age.
Jono.
Yeesh,
With the one
that's
power, you
it
can
right
rip
there.
it all out of them.
That would be fun. I would love to just rip semen out of.
Is that a
these balls.
spirit? Is that air? What are you
I mean,
using?
spirit. Where are we on the spectrum of when a human is a human? It's not spirit. At best, it's protein.
No, what are you using? Like, what weave are you using to pull it out?
Water,
What?
water and
Alien
water
solution.
and
Air.
meat.
Through.
The meat thread.
Well,
Anyway,
I scratched my work password too. Things aren't going well
good.
for me.
Don't change it. I'm writing it down.
okay, meat thread. Jono. Work password. Current work password.
So where are we? Is Thera going to work for Rendra?
I mean, Elaine turns Thera over to Rendra, and she's like, "Here's a simple refugee
I
with
love
no
your
money,
hair. You look so good in a good dress.
who maybe needs a palette and some work for hire." You know,
But her color palette's perfect. Also, I
put
really
her
wish
in the common room with that handsome young man who wants to rape me.
The surf.
Perhaps.
Alright, so that wins as a comment.
You know,
What's interesting is like we actually get more from
Okay.
you and my mom, Mr. Stovey. You and my mom.
you must
we
have a
actually
grip
have
like
more-
a gorilla.
Rendra is a more prevalent character right now than Basil Gill.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously Basil comes back, but
Yeah, no, I know that. I've read this series.
in current Wheel of Time books, she's equivalent, if not surpassed, Basil Gill in terms of her usefulness and helpfulness as a random innkeeper that they just happen to befriend, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Instead of Tom, she's Bail Doman's friend. Instead of helping Rand and Matt, she helps Nynaeve and Elaine.
Did she say anything? Did she comment on their peasant appearance? She didn't really say anything about them being out of their nice dresses, did she?
Well, remember they changed
I think
peasant
Rendra,
to-
like Basil Gill,
Okay.
I think she's very aware of like them doing whatever shenanigans they're doing, and she's like, "Yeah, it's fine."
And just like in,
I'll rush you into
Queen's
this tea
Blessing.
room through the back door, and like, you know, you just
please.
hang out with, you know.
Yeah.
Remember the
steep
Queen's
these
Blessing?
bags of tea.
just gonna lever my balls up and down on this chair. But like in the Queen's Blessing, that's where they do like the first like giant strategy night, and then Moraine sends Basil Gill with like, I need this shit in 3 hours because we're leaving at like 4 a.m. Same shit happens here. They work through the night for planning, and they go to the palace right at dawn. It's the same fucking thing. I really kind of want more for Rendra. I don't think we ever see her after this.
I mean, I mentioned it last week, but like, I mildly hate her and don't like her
because
at
she's a
all.
woman. You sexist fuck.
I don't know. You know what it was? Because it's Tanchico, and I didn't trust anybody. And I feel like when I should have trusted her, like initially, I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
And then like I just never got to the point where I liked her. I was just always like, when the fuck are you gonna betray them, you bitch? And then like it never happens, and I'm like, oh, she's cool. But like it comes too little, too late because like my suspicions are up like at a high level because it's Tanchico. I don't know. Just a different. I have a very different like feeling with her, which obviously comes from nothing other than like my initial read of the series. But like,
so do you
there's something about Rendra that I'm just like, I still don't trust her, even though I've read this book 100 times. You know, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's just, you know, part of me is like, fuck that bitch. But that being said, I'm wrong, and she's awesome, and she's proved it many, many times over, and you know that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're fucking wrong. Well, where were we?
Hey, what's going on with Amathera? Elaine's like, what the fuck? Let's talk about it later. I don't want to talk about it right now. You want to hear about that now.
You mean Thera?
And then she's like, I'll tell you one thing though. She has no idea what the lives of common people are like. And Nynaeve's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, Nynaeve's not wrong. You know, that's all I'm going to say.
So I'll say this. There are many documented cases about the fact that the Andorran nobles are actually much closer to common people. Like they'll marry them, they will, and that's it. They're still.
I mean, Elaine does. You know,
dumb bitch.
Bent. Come on, say the right slur.
Oh, bent bitch. What was
so? Nynaeve shows them the seal and the saddlets. And Bale's like, I had one of those one time. And she's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You dumb man.
Nynaeve's, I doubt it, dude. You would have thought that would have been like a little more of a point because obviously Igyanan also saw it. And she's pretty unimpeachable. But just nothing. Very like underappreciated, just bizarre little piece there.
I loved it. But I mean, it's also just Nynaeve being like, silly men and their gossip. And they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You're just like, is this the Nynaeve that likes to get angry at something for no reason so she can channel? Or is this an actual opinion? Because it sounds like women's circle bullshit.
All women's circle business. All right. So last thing, I do appreciate those two last things. I do appreciate the fact that Nynaeve mentions the tower cannot be trusted with this. And Elaine took a second and then agreed, to which...
Yeah, Julian's like, we need to get these to the White Tower like immediately. And they're like, no! And they're like, whoa!
That's
what the fuck?
like,
I thought that was the plan. My bad. I'm sorry.
Like that would be better off being just like just tossed on the ground than that, because well, they don't know in general is New Maryland. But secondly, just in general, fuck no. Like this thing is such an abuse of power, just like it would be for the female version, but even more so considering there's one guy.
I meant business. I meant business, Toby.
I meant bullshit.
Go on, Jono. Yeah,
it's just such a frightening fucking thing. The idea of Alaya having this thing. Jesus.
Oh yeah. Well, now it's horrifying. Well, knowing what's happening at the tower, but they don't know that, kind of thing. So Elaine tries to melt it and nothing, and then Bail Doman's like, maybe try ice peppers,
Yeah,
which I thought was weird.
Slowly poking at it.
He's like, those saddlets do have a vagina.
There's a hole right there. What's wrong with this thing?
Well, finally they decide to have Doman take them and drop them into the very deep part of the sea.
And where is that?
Which is right where the Shan are, I think. I mean, like wherever the Shan are.
Why does it have to
take
be the
them out
part
to
of
the Shan?
Like,
it's not a bad plan. It's not a bad plan in and of itself. What's weird is that they let it out of their sight. Like, wouldn't you get on the boat and go with him? Even if you're just sailing out like 100 miles and dropping into the ocean, wouldn't you just go with him and be like, I'm making sure this is happening. And we're good. And let's sail back. Kind of thing. Like, why do Nynaeve and Elaine go, taken care of? We did it. You know, like kind of like it's such a. It falls so short of like how smart they are that it bothers me.
So I've seen The Hobbit. I've seen Lord of the Rings, and obviously, The Ring in the River, a little too shallow. It comes back.
Yeah.
I do love the Gladlets. But, you know, you just go, like, they don't have fucking breathing suits, right? Like, they don't have the ability to scuba dive. You go a mile.
I know, you don't even have to go that far. Yeah.
A mile off the coast. And just toss it, they're done.
Couple miles.
I also don't understand what they're using for sounding rods. Write that one down. For where they know like how deep things are, the Isle Samara versus other places. Like, are you
sounding
really like
rods?
Yeah.
Jono's new work password: sounding rods.
Yeah,
got it.
Like, so why does like, oh, it's real deep there? It's 4,000 versus 2,000 feet. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Like, it doesn't matter. What are they going to do? Like, make air bubbles around their heads and Iceman slide to the bottom of the ocean? That's insane.
Yes.
You can't Iceman slide into the ocean. We all know Iceman slides are possible. But can you Iceman slide into an ocean? That's crazy.
I wish I could just turn this podcast off.
There's not enough water around to freeze.
Or there is too much water. There's too much water.
It's salt water. It doesn't freeze very well.
Well, it does, just colder. Just like my wife. Why do you talk about my wife all the time?
We have one more chapter to go.
Do I have any more comments?
My husband was just doing the Happy Gilmore humping the broomstick motion at me.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Otto.
And how did that make you feel?
Horny.
Turned on?
Yeah.
Hot under the collar.
Yes.
Like you've been eating some ice peppers. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Last thing on this chapter, speaking of hot under the collar, I do want to mention that Igyanin frowns.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know if I noticed that in other read-throughs. She knows that where they're talking about is a little bit of
in Sean Chan control, kind of basically. Yeah. Because Toman mentions an island specifically. He's like, "Oh, I'll take it to this island."
Isle Samara. Yeah.
Also, Samara, like, if he gets overtaken, why isn't he just chucking it over the side? Like,
so that's like their response.
It doesn't take that much time to like run to the top deck and be like into the water.
Also, like, all you have to do is, if you don't have to run to it, you just kind of just.
Also, you could also just put it in a box and turn it into Quindler. You know, it's just a brick.
That should have been the original plan.
I don't think he can. It's still like that's the darkest thing we've ever thought of, though, is to throw someone in one of those. Like, that's
yeah. Chapter 56, Golden Eyes.
Golden Eyes, I long to fuck you.
Oh!
Open a porthole and throw it out. Oh shit! You got the Golden Eyes shirt out?
Yeah. Yeah. So what I was thinking this could be is, you know how like in the 80s, like they would do those portraits for school, and it'd be like your head here and then your head here also. So this is Hopper's school portrait. It's all him.
Oh, it's all Hopper.
It's all Hopper, but his mom picked the
This is
package.
Hopper's 80s high school portrait.
Yeah.
Trollocs attack! With help from Fael and the people of Watch Hill and Devon Ride, Perrin and the Emmond Fielders win the battle with no help whatsoever from the fucking White Cloaks who are sitting on a green. Also, Ordeath is not happy.
I have one point that is completely unrelated to the books, and that is if I were to make a Wheel of Time porn and I were a female, because I feel like Devon is a female. Oh, that's pretty sextress, I think is the term. Devon Ride. I wasn't even looking. I feel like Devon Ride's a decent name for a porn name. Fucked all the
Devon
I mean, Devon Ride is.
That's a good idea.
It's Dav's porn name.
Yeah.
The fourth Taviran. Every porn he made in the Two Rivers that involved a badger, he was named Devin Ride.
It just feels like a pretty decent name. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
It's good.
Feels like it's a ginger.
Well, you guys discuss. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Good night, Yoey.
Bye.
So where do we want to start? So it's Perrin in the common room at the Wine Spring Inn.
He's
Aram
writing.
in the corner.
Aram in the corner.
Aram in the corner with
always watching him. He's just standing there with his sword, just always watching him.
This creepy motherfucker. I legitimate question, and obviously there's a couple more books of him before he goes insane. What the fuck's the point of this man?
Of this man?
Yeah, of Aram. Does he do anything for you as a character?
Yeah, actually. Because it's the way the leaf is. I mean, he was raised in it.
Yeah.
By a woman who chose not to, chose to follow it after his mother was killed. But then he had too much. He just didn't have it inside of him to stay with it. But then he ends up being good too, which is like also adds another layer of interesting info to him. So that's just, I don't know. There's no way after he's exposed to that level of violence and then he just wants to, I don't know. But then
brilliant. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure this is something you guys have already talked about before, but
I don't think so. This is a legitimate question, and therefore we probably never discussed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
no, it was
when he saves Perrin later,
Yeah.
The Trollocs on top of him, he slashes its throat, and then he spins immediately and takes another one out. Like he's got that thing in him that to come.
Yeah.
And other things.
And
I don't know how to quite. I
didn't mean
mustard.
It. And mustard.
Parancino,
man. I love that it repeats so many times.
It's so good.
Unlike me, I'm like a one blast done.
You guys talking about Aram?
So I had given. I kind of threw Taffy under the metaphorical bus because there wasn't a real bus. Of whether or not there's anything valid about Aram. Like, or not valid, but like, do you think he's a useful character? Does he actually have a point besides like weird bodyguard who turns bad?
Yeah. I mean, aside from weird bodyguard that turns bad, I think he's. I mean, I know we saw a glimpse of it in the Ruidian viewings, but like from Rand, but like I think it's a good representation of like the worst case of like what the Tinkers fear and like what they like the unraveling of their way of life kind of thing. And that maybe it goes too hard in that direction, maybe, but like, I don't know. I think it's a valid character portrayal of like the dark side of being like of violence and being a Tinker.
I don't know if you heard what Taffy said, but she brought up a very valid point about like, his mother gone and kind of like this man like living, he really just never really fit in. And he tried so hard. Pretty much right. 2 and 3 done. Oh, 4. I always forget there's 4. And like that it really,
John, there's as many as I want. Just endless. Just
keep playing it while we're talking.
We can do 3. We can do 4. We can do 5. It just keeps going. It's endless.
I'll tell you what.
For those of you who don't know, the reason we have Brendan Fraser every time we talk about Aram is this right here. He's a dead ringer. He's a dead ringer for.
It's the same hairstyle. It's the same person. There's no difference.
Man. Well, I realize I don't play the context as much as I play the ridiculous gif.
Also, that mustard's refractory period. Incredible.
Anyway, Aram.
It doesn't matter. I think I got drunk and lost the point here. Anyway,
because he didn't just temporarily pick up the sword. he embraced it. Like
no,
he's like, I'm done with this shit.
On.
I don't want to be weak. I don't.
Yeah, he
I want to
window
protect
shopped
people.
it, right? Like, yeah, he walked across it. Like your point, yeah.
Like Perrin was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Ends up thinking about it, but Aram like immediately just goes for it.
I think the sad part is in this moment in time, Perrin accepts it, whereas like in any other moment he would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? No, stop that, and like shut it down. Like normal Perrin would never have accepted this from him. He would have been like, that's dumb, you should not do that. He's in the most desperate situation he could possibly be in, and he needs every single fucking human being that can hold a sword to hold a sword.
Okay,
like he's asking old man farmers to help defend the two rivers. So I think he's just like, yeah, man, you want to pick up a sword? It's cool. And I don't like. I'm not saying he's like.
I don't know if I agree.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think Perrin would be like. I think Perrin's as much as he in this moment is kind of going like, I think it's fine if he chooses that way or that way. But I feel like he allows it more, or rather, it's not that it's his decision, I guess, but like, you know, I think it's just he accepts it more because of the situation he's in versus like if the two rivers wasn't currently under attack by thousands of Trollocs, would he have been like, yeah, you should totally come do that? He would have been like, your mom doesn't like that dude, and get the fuck out of here. And maybe he would have kept doing it anyway. That's not the point. But I feel like Perrin embracing it wouldn't have happened unless this scenario was happening, I guess is what I'm saying.
Maybe, but I think that he's very much trying to avoid other conversation, like freedom of choice type of guy, in that like you have chosen this, and like just because you're born
only
somewhere,
think about one thing at a time. That's what I'm talking
also
about.
very true.
He's very focused on what's happening,
and I can't wait to get
you know
point here.
He's very
fuck
focused.
it. Next,
Those two brain cells are working overtime.
Let's get into this. Let's get into the chat.
Dana said, Aaron is a little bit of a modern example of the Dai Shanai eel who picked up the spear. Yeah, yes, yeah.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the modern, yeah, of course, yeah.
So he's the offshoot of the offshoot, and he will.
Well, also, do you think Perrin accepts it because even though he doesn't say, oh, that's my viewing, tinker with the sword, or do
I don't think he's factoring that in at all. Hence the two brain cells comment from Dovey. But go on.
I don't know. I feel like it's something he just kind of like went with it because it's like he didn't have to say it out loud for us to hear.
Yeah.
But he knew that was something that was inevitable. There was going to be
maybe. Yeah, he might have just been like, this is gonna fuck. You're clearly a nutcase. This is gonna happen. One way or the other. That's very possible too. I don't know. Part of me just thinks like Perrin is so focused on what he's dealing with that he's not necessarily accepting Aram with that. He's just going, yeah, man, that's whatever. I don't have time to like consider this one way or the other. Like I have too much going on, kind of thing. And to Dobie's point, he has one thing going on, so it's very distracted. Anyway, Perrin, children, thousands of Trollocs are coming from the north and south.
Don't call me that. I love it's a fascinating thing that like don't call me that registers where thousands of Trollocs.
Oh, don't call me Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. As he slowly tries to put together a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extremely simple letter, all of which are written in simple sentences. No offense, but one of the things you learned in middle school and then high school is simple sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences.
How do you think this letter to Fael is starting?
I will not ask for forgiveness for what I did is my favorite start for anything. I also say that I leave that tattooed on my wife's chest.
But how does he address it? Is it my dearest Fael? He's like, fairest Fael of wherever the fuck you come from. You just told me, but I've forgotten. I'm very distracted by all these Trollocs around me.
Yeah.
How does it start?
So I'll tell you how it starts. It starts the same way as I've told many times to many people how my wife, her funeral is going to go.
Dearest Mantarp. Which, as we all know, means blade.
Yes.
Which you are not one.
Joe, do you know what I'm going to say?
Found out it was the name of a horse. What? What, Jono?
Farewell.
Eric Ogg.
Your body will decay.
Your body will decay.
That's it,
no, it's farewell, Fahil. My body will decay.
If my wife dies before
under
me,
the apple blossoms
literally...
with the rest of my kith and kin.
My kith and kin.
Your unibrow will decay. And your human friends.
For those of you still fucking watching the show for some reason, me and Jono love the Harry Potter books and movies, but specifically Professor Slughorn. It was the greatest character ever.
His last Jordan Con movie. His last Jordan Con twice in a row, we went back into the room at like mid-afternoon. As we already
I've never read Harry Potter. You have, because you read The Wheel of Time, Glenn, and that's a derivative of Harry Potter. Everyone knows that.
A ripoff.
Ripoff.
You don't call it ripoff. Ripoff.
Ripoff?
Ripoff.
Jono, yes. At Jordan Con, we watched Harry Potter over and over again.
So I have a legitimate question that we don't have time for because it's already 11 o'clock. Is Perrin a fucking idiot or not?
Yes.
Legitimately, like, he's really thought that he has commanded Fahil to go find the queen. Like, really, does he think that? Like,
I think he is. Does he know she's going to turn right back around? No, but do I think he actually got her to leave the way he wants her to? No, I don't think so. He's not that dumb. She listened to him for a minute, and I don't think he actually believes that she's gone.
Taffy, your thoughts?
Well, if he doesn't think that, he hasn't let on about it. He thinks. I think he thinks she's gone. I think he thinks he got away with it because
he chose the north so he could stare at the woods where she went into.
Yeah.
No, okay.
I chose the north. I don't know why.
Yeah. Would have gotten away with it too with those meddling Trollocs. Chat, is Perrin a potentially
just thinking things through? Jeez. She always does what he asks, though. Why suspect anything? That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's never once chosen anything different.
Ron and Galad watched jerked off together. Oh, which of the boys is not a fucking idiot? Oh, that's a solid point. Weirdly,
but I feel like
honestly, you know, valid answer. My actual answer: Matt's kind of not an idiot. He pretends to be an idiot, but he's not an idiot. The other two are pretending not to be idiots, but they're actual idiots.
But
that would be my response to that question.
Rand's plans.
Land.
It comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Pick scratching that. It does come to plan. Like, he sees the entire Lanfear thing long before it even happens, and he's giggling like an idiot. I'm not sure Perrin would walk.
I think there's other reasons Rand's an idiot. That might not be one of them. I'm just saying, like,
fair enough.
Of the three characters, Rand and Perrin are the ones that are consistently, like, I don't know, not right about things or fucking shit up. And Matt's the one who's like fucking up all the time, quote unquote, but really doing the right thing the whole time.
It's true. It's true.
You know? See, Glenn said right, not Matt. Yeah, see? I agree.
All right. So I just had that as like a giant star. I was like, is he an actual idiot?
Taffy, what's your answer? Do you have an answer to that? Are they all three idiots?
I think they're all idiots, not just the boys, but the girls too. I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true.
That's sexist.
I mean, they're getting
Land's
better
not,
and better.
and neither's Moraine.
They're all developing.
No, but all the kids are.
No, yeah, Lan and Moraine, no, but all the kids, like, they get thrown into chaos, so their whole worlds are turned upside down and they're figuring out. But then they all come
feel like
into it.
Matt deals with it in a different way from them, and he like runs away from it half the time. But in reality, he's like, I don't know.
He can see.
He's
but
an interesting case, I guess. Is my point.
Well, we get that from when we get to read from his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He's always like right about reading the room and people and stuff. Kind of. Know what you mean?
I think Nynaeve and Egwene and Rand and Perrin all kind of have the confidence of like, I'm doing the right thing, when in reality they're fucking up. Because from the reader perspective, you're like, that's not right. You're fucking this up. From Matt's perspective, even from the reader's perspective, you're watching him like bumblefuck his way through things, but like it turns out that he's not wrong, I guess. I don't know. Like I feel more often than not. Not is every time. No. Is this infallible? Of course not. You know, like, but more often than not.
Yeah, it's definitely not a continue. But
Matt supremacy.
Matt's supremacy. By the way,
failed his wisdom save.
Or did he? Oh yes, no, he definitely did.
Patrick said the
whole
not
village.
Idiot list: Matt, Tom, and maybe Lenny. Lenny, Patrick.
He's not wrong.
He threw Lenny in there.
He's not. I know. He's not.
Great.
All right. So, all right.
Whole
Back to the chapter.
Village.
We're going way long tonight.
Thank you for noticing my penis. The whole village ran for the fight.
Who couldn't? You know.
The women are ready to protect the children. The White Cloaks.
Yeah, the women are holding weapons. Parent apologizes for sending out Fael, and they're like, "We already know, dummy. Like we know what you're doing."
Dumbass. As opposed to you, we actually know she's coming back too. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like I think that this is one of the most incredible. Like, this whole fucking scene, like as we've led up to, like it's weird how small the Battle of the Two Rivers is, like from a page count for this entire book, because it feels like it should be hundreds of pages.
Yeah.
It's not,
but it's not. No, it's.
But well, maybe because there was already a battle in Two Rivers, like what? 10 chapters.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if you count what they've been doing, if you count what they've been doing since the freeing of the women from the White Cloak camp, which I feel like is kind of the beginning of the whole scenario.
100%.
Like,
it's still
not that long.
Total.
I don't know. How long is it? Depending on how flaccid your book is.
It's got to be 3 or 4 at most. In my book, you know how flaccid it was?
Well, I mean, paperback versus hardback,
From a dog.
Oh, chewed on by a dog. That's that's a third category. Anyway, Bonehold says we're leaving, and he's like, "What are you, chicken?" And he's like, "All right, we'll stay. We'll stay. We'll stay if you turn yourself in." He's like, "I will if you help us fight." And he's like, "Fine, done." And he's like, "Done." And he's like, "Done." And then they spit at each other and they walk away. I'm pretty sure.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
I love like the. First off, like I think the most farcical part of all the White Cloaks is the fact that they, as we find out later on in this chapter, sit there through it. They are awful fucking people to sit there watching these people get like. If you think the leader is like, what the fuck? Like, my God. Like, what?
So here's the point, though. I don't think that Bonehold I don't think Bonehold thinks they're all dark friends. I think he thinks Perrin's a dark friend, and he has some sick plan to murder his own village. Yeah, but I don't think he thinks they're all dark friends. And if you don't think they're all dark friends, why are you sitting there and letting him murder all of his people? Do you think it's some plot to get you all murdered? And then, like, even if that's the case, like you sit back until the line collapses and then you sweep in and just kill everybody. I don't know. Also, if you're going to leave at some point, you just punch a hole and leave. Like you find a weak point in the line and you just punch, you and your White Cloaks like stab a bunch of Trollocs and you punch your way out. He doesn't do that. And you're just like, what are you sitting around for? Like waiting. I don't know. Everything he does makes no sense. It's like, if you think Perrin's a dark friend, and he brought the Trollocs, and he's killing all these people on purpose, then why not just murder him in the streets? I guess your weird rule of law, which is fine, but like, so you need to take him in or somehow prove that he's a dark friend. And in what reality have the White Cloaks ever needed that much proof? They would have just hauled his ass off and been like, he's a dark friend. I don't know.
Taffy had texted me under the table saying like, "Hey, Jono, you should make a sexist joke saying it's women's logic," which I don't agree with.
I am sexist though, against women.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
But
I'm sorry.
I'll let you finish.
We all know that, Taffy.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish the other point you were going to say. Besides your sexist joke, that's not funny to me.
I think the white cloaks were afraid of the villagers the whole time. I think they kind of knew that they all had his back, and so they said they would stay, but they thought they could get away with hiding in the back, and that no one would notice because they're so bloated. Their heads are so bloated that they.
They're the women.
They're the world's. They're even bigger bullies than Aes Sedai. They just go around bullying people all over the fucking planet. Like, well, at least on this side of the ocean, but so they're used to just
white cloaks
like,
over the west. Yeah.
So they just they think that they can just they get away with everything, so they think they can get away with this. That's how I read it.
You know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. They think they can get away with it, so it makes in their brains they're sitting there going, "Well, we're going to hold back, even when the battle starts to collapse down, to like fighting within the houses. Like we're going to hold back because eventually we're going to be able to like go, see, he was a dark friend," and that's their plan, which is so fucking dumb. But okay, I buy that though.
It was also messed up. Their plan got messed up as well because they had reinforcements come and help them.
Yeah.
So I think that they thought all the village was going to get wiped out, and they were just going to swoop in and grab Perrin and take off. I think, right? They probably thought everybody was going to die.
You're 100%.
They had to have.
The question is like, and I can't tell if it's almost, and no offense to my friend Robert Jordan, who ceased to exist a couple decades, well, not decades ago, I guess, 15 years ago? Doesn't matter. No offense to his writing. Sometimes the white cloaks are almost too farcical, right? Like I know that you kind of write
kind of what I'm getting at, yeah.
But in this case, like it's just like.
But Taffy's point makes a lot of sense, and it makes it work for me.
But how?
You know what I mean? Like,
how do you? It's sometimes and without getting into anything, sometimes the mass of the crowds makes you feel some way. In this case, this is a massive crowd of a militant force that believes that everything around it, even if not all of it is evil, the leader is evil, and therefore you kind of just stay the fuck away. Again, stay away from politics and shit like that. And Seaman in brown pants died. But that's why they hold white? And I don't know. Where did the brown pants come from?
That hides their cowardice.
But the seaman is fine. Seaman's white. Although sometimes yellow to get some things checked out.
RJ was making a comment about folks like the clan can't be too on point for that. Yeah.
Fair.
I mean,
fair.
yeah, that's
very
there.
Fair.
But here's the thing. Like I understand where the illusions are. But within the story, the logic of these characters, I'm just kind of going like, and doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's a little loose. It's
I like Taffy's point of like they're scared of the villagers. That's true. I mean, like they are surrounded by probably a lot of Two Rivers people that are just willing to shoot them with bows, and that's even evident after the fight's over. So like
So let's get to the end of this fight here. First off, the fight itself is fucking visceral. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
There's blood. There's guts. There's horse cum. I think that's right. There's horse shit.
Horse cum.
Like
yeah.
So same thing sometimes, depending on your money. Like
the Trellics shout ISOM before they attack.
Fantastic point, and I apologize for skipping over that.
Did Narg teach them, or what's the deal with that?
Isarg.
Isarg.
Did you like Isarg, Joe?
Yeah,
I did. I like that Perrin is like, Fael's safe, that's all that matters. It genuinely does allow him to fight more recklessly.
Unhinged.
Yeah, more unhinged, yeah. Which is needed, weirdly.
Yeah.
of all the things that she's like, I'm gonna leave, but I'm not really leaving. Like, I think part of her maybe knew that and was like, yeah, he probably needs me to be gone, so he doesn't have to think about me at all. Like, he might have reacted differently in the fight. He might have reacted differently in the mid battle, or like moved positions or done something stupid to protect me. Like, I think part of her brain's like, yeah, I'll leave in quotation marks and really just go up to Watch Hill and get a bunch of people to come back and help. But like, I think part of her is just like, yeah, he's way too distracted with me. He's not gonna do a good job if I'm not here.
Can I do something quintessential Jono, annoying, and I hope to God to get help from the chat?
Sure.
Yeah.
I am so horny. No, that's not right.
Okay, chat, can you help him out with that, please?
On page 645 in the hardback.
The trunks were brought by. We know, Dana.
Yeah, we know
but
that.
Also, but it's weird that they say his name.
It's weird that they say his name. And also, like,
is it because I saw him like, or Luke got like arrowed through the chest in the dream world, so he came out of the dream world and just has an empty hole, and he's like running out with blood, and he's just like, "Fucking say my name when you fight." Like, what is that? Like that's so weird.
From a dark point of view, he doesn't seem like a quintessential like rally around a guy character, because he doesn't seem to have like, we never see anything where he does that. Anyway, so I got a question, and I think Dana Lou may be a very helpful person here. Again, on Golden Eyes, this is about 5 or 6 pages in the hardback version.
Okay.
Halfway down, Perrin is mentioning all the names he's known. Baron Thane, the Miller's brother, Fat Athen Dearn, and Kevram Alazar, whose grandsons had grown sons.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 names that are extremely like. Athen Dearn sounds a lot like the Sea Folk.
Okay.
Kevram Alazar sounds very just Middle Eastern. Like it feels like he ran out of names and may have chosen like legitimate like people he knew. I don't know. Like, those 2
like
names,
Sean Chan.
Yeah, Sean Chan. But like no, I'm serious. Like I know and actually technically, or not technically, Joe, you know someone close to Kevram Alazar.
I do know a Kevram Alazar.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of a sudden, like we went from like the most generic redneck names to Kevram Alazar. Not as much, even though I know the Al means son of in this case. It's just all of a sudden a very strange change, and I really enjoyed. Just kind of caught me by surprise.
Yeah. Okay.
And here's to Kevram Alazar.
Here you go, Kevin.
Who was in my wedding.
So the battle's intense, like the circus, or
actually it is in houses and the spaces between them.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. The battle's in houses. Spaces between. That's what I meant to say. The line bulges inward, Perrin orders them back, Aram saves his life. Women stop the line from breaking, which is important for later with the White Cloaks, because they didn't. The reason they find out later is because the White Cloaks weren't helping. So the women were like, well, we got to stop this from collapsing. Right when Perrin's like, where are the White Cloaks? A boy runs up and he's like, Lord Perrin, please listen, Master Alfor.
Someone's attacking the Trollocs.
Somebody's attacking the Trollocs.
They said different lines.
Me lord.
I do think Devon Ride is...
Pretty sure that's how he sounds.
I'm your cousin Dean, Lord.
Lord Perrin, Master Alfor said to tell you that the Trollocs are breaking.
Don't let them sexually abuse me, my lord.
Okay, are
they're
you
shouting Devon Ride. The men, I mean. I heard them. What's your name, boy? Jane Mulbara.
Jane Mulbara. It's a little on the nose.
I'm your cousin, me lord.
A little on the nose.
What day is it, son? Christmas Day. Pretty sure that's how the whole
throws open the shutters.
Then Perrin starts tossing gold coins and turkeys or something to everybody.
turkeys.
Pretty sure that's how it is.
He's not the Panarch with all of her giant foodstuffs. Not a thing to call a woman, by the way.
I mean, isn't he?
That's right.
He is not.
We're not supposed to? Okay, I'm going to make sure I write that down so I don't forget.
So how it ends up, Joe. What's happening?
The battle ends. Fael rides up and she's like, I never promised I'd actually leave. Like, I didn't say I'd leave. I just said I'd listen to you and ride away.
Yeah, and she's talking a lot because she just assumes he's going to be mad, but he's just stoked to see her.
Yeah,
so,
he might have he might have come already on that saddle.
I'm pretty sure he did. He's on a saddle.
Yeah, and
he's
also,
feeling vibrations. He's riding a horse right now.
Horse.
Taffy, what's the name of her horse?
I don't know. What is
Swallow.
The name of her? Oh, okay. Well, you know what's on
just
her mind.
Throwing geese and badgers. Oh man.
How'd I forget?
I'm your cousin, me lord.
So ends up she
I think that makes me your cousin, I think.
And then later he's like, I guess you are my cousin. He's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna tell my friends he said that you were my cousin.
Oh, and then when he says that thing about you'll tell your children and your grandchildren, he's like,
I don't like girls, they're gross.
Yeah, he said girls are horrible. They laugh at you.
Girls?
They're not into the same stuff that you like.
Yeah,
They
sounds
don't
like every
they
girl
don't like
I've ever
anything of
met.
interest, and then nothing. I don't understand anything that they say.
It was weird that he just started saying all these like sexual epitaphs at that kid, considering the kid was only like 9 years old.
He's like, later on, you're gonna like to fuck them, and he's like, whoa, what?
It'd been much later. What are you, some sort of like beep 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 beep? Oh,
Fael's like, we rode hard on our horses, and we got more men from Watch Hill. You're welcome.
And also, pretty sure I heard that note will be there soon. Hundreds of people from Devon ride.
I mean, turns out she was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Honestly,
I mean, it's
I do
pretty
not.
logical.
I do not hate the fact that she was like, I don't want to get your hopes up. So I didn't say anything.
Yeah, so I didn't say anything. I like that. Yeah.
Again, no problems with fail here. Earlier, yes. Later, fuck yes.
I know
Right
it's
here,
hard.
no.
Yeah. Sometimes she does all right. Sometimes she makes some good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Oh, good.
I like sometimes that he just says nothing and just fucks off.
Bye.
He's just like his brother.
now. Oh, I can lick it. A sphincter says twat.
Anyway, so this kind of ends with, as we mentioned a couple times, the White Cloaks ride by, and he's just like, now it's time to turn yourself in. And of course, Fael's like, what the fuck's he talking about? And he's like, well, I promised, but there's two sides to a promise, just like a penis, and you did not fulfill this, and you didn't do a goddamn thing. Daisy Conger's like, they sat there on their pretty fucking horses, and fucking did nothing.
And he notices, he says about it, their clothes, they're completely spotless, like white cloaks.
I'm not a proud man, but I could not imagine sitting there watching children, women, all this shit, like, get into a fight while I'm in fucking full armor and just sitting there just.
Yeah,
is this over
it's
with?
insane.
Yeah, I can't wait till they're gone so I can just ride over their corpses and go home. Like, fuck me, you pieces of shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? God damn. Like, that's all you need to know for, like, the Children of the Light. Like, it's not just like, well, we had bad leadership. Like, no, you sat there and diddled yourself while they died. Like, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Dana said, at least in the show, I think we will get to avoid all the Fael and Perrin nonsense in the waste. Nonsense?
It's spanking, and it turns on 3.4% of our audience. And
I wrote, she
off
thinks he's mad. He says, I love you. Classic marriage.
If you remember,
anyway, Bonehole's like, let's go, inmate. and then they have an argument. What do you guys think about the bone hold thing?
Masterfully handled like a bone in a hand. Also, goddamn, how is it 11:22 again? We're terrible at this.
We're my doing fault.
Pretty good, Jono.
Okay, so do you guys want to talk about Ordeth laughing so hard he almost falls out of the tree?
I want to get there because let's pause.
Why is he in a tree?
Hold on. Let's get there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you said the time, so I thought maybe you might want to skip forward.
Well, my wife hates me already.
All right, hold on. White cloaks draw their swords, the two rivers draw their bows, and they're like, "Fuck you, we're leaving." And we're like, "All right, yeah, I said I'd go with you, but I promised only if you helped, and you didn't help. Fuck off." Then the guys from Watch Hill come up, and they're like, "Hey, I'm the mayor," and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And
what's his name?
Hey, we're gonna make sure these white cloaks get the fuck out of here, so we're gonna leave.
So yeah,
kind of thing, and we're gonna follow them out of here and make sure they leave the two rivers. And he's like, "All right, cool." And then basically after that, Fayo's like, "That was the mayor," kind of thing.
His wife's gonna bring you honey cakes or some shit.
They're
gonna bring.
They're gonna send a women's circle delegate down to make sure you're Lord of the Two Rivers material, kind of thing. And I was like, I love that. Like the surrounding villages are gonna be like, "Well, we haven't signed off on this Lord of the Two Rivers."
But also, how do you bow? How do you curtsy? And does he like apple tart, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also you have some husbandly duties, to take care of. Right.
So he goes to Fucktown.
Yeah.
And she's as randy as someone who just watched a guy murder 1,000 things covered in blood. And there is no bathtub up there, and we're just gonna go get that pasted all over her.
Yep.
You don't think someone's channeling some water into a hot tub for them?
Twat tub. So like you said, Ordeath.
Yeah, Ordeath. You guys, what do you guys want to talk about? Padden Fane, son of a bitch.
Taffy, your thoughts? Where is he?
Oh yeah, no. I'm just setting it up.
He's in a tree, survey about a mile from the town, just watching everything. Just going, his eyes are just like this. He's just like, just getting really worked up about it. But I just
do you think he has like a? Does he have like a? God damn it, they lost. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening? How close are they? How close?
Joe, what do you think that's called?
I was gonna say monocle. That's not right.
The spyglass.
Spyglass.
Or
do you have a spyglass?
According to your graphic, a urethra.
Yeah, that's what I said. Urethra.
Dickhead. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Wait, I want to take video of you doing that. Can you do that?
This is just the video's live on the internet, Taffy.
Oh,
it extends and then it shuts it.
That's live.
It's a series of tubes.
I
don't know. What do you guys like? Ordeath kind of like I don't know. Padden Fane, is this sort of like the beginning of the end of like his interesting story? I know he has hits and bits and nice parts with Rand later, but to me, this is like he's like, "You got me, parent of the Two Rivers," and then it's like I don't know. It just feels so lackluster and just kind of and kind of like
feels like a.
I wanted it to burn, and it will one day, but not today. And then he just kind of like. Meanders off with some
Scooby-Doo
with some
like,
weird
away with it too for what that
I don't know.
Man. He regains
distance viewer. he has a distance viewer, Jono.
He regains like his like just disturbing quality in the next book when he's with the Mirlin, when he kills what's her name? Like he kills.
Yeah,
like,
he does literally say like that is an interesting note. He does literally say like. Fuck this. Let's go to Tarvalon. They have something I want. And it does set up like where he is for the next few books. But like, I don't know. It's just part of this is just like, ugh, what the fuck?
That being said, can I read something from here?
Please.
Spittle dripped from his lips. He didn't notice any more than he realized his hand was fumbling at his belt.
Okay, do you think you? But it says, you think he just was gonna go for his dick and then decided to go for where the dagger should have been?
Why should there
So
be
that's
a dagger
tWoTcast for this week. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. We'll maybe respond. tWoTcast theme song is brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me give you a
and
song.
legendary Andrel Bard of Time.
Andrel.
Links to all their stuffs below. You know, you guys want to hear some other amazing Taffy songs? There links below. You want to hear all the other amazing things Andrel does? Links below. Just check it out. You know? Join us next episode for more Wheel of Time covering.
If you want to reach me or look at my stuff, you have to go to MySpace.
If you want to talk to Taffy in any way, shape, or form, myspace.com/tWoTcast and /myspace.com/singwithtaffy is the new Twitter time. Everyone knows this. Is the new. It's where we're getting all our news these days. I don't know if you guys have seen it. MySpace is the new Twitter of time. That's where we're at. Join us next episode for more Wheel of Time covering Shadow Rising Part 16, the last part, chapters 57 through 58.
And the glossary.
And the glossary.
So also, you'll probably be talking about the first episode as well, right?
Nope. Next
no,
week
that's
is
before the first episode. It's before the first episode. Oh, well, if you're a sneak preview person.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you could go through a whole show and just the first whole episode of season 3 of Wheel of Time has aired and just not just okay,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Wait,
okay.
when's the show come out? The show doesn't come out till the 13th.
The first episode comes out on the 8th. That's what I was talking about earlier. They have this whole thing where they're going to show the first episode on
I'm not going to watch
March 8th. Oh, okay. You're going to wait and watch all 3 the following Thursday?
I am.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I might watch it.
Then.
I might watch it.
8th? What's that? 4 days?
But we're not going to talk about it here. We're going to talk about the last episode of the Shadow Rising.
So the real material.
I'm Jono. Say goodnight, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
And Taffy?
Bye. Thank you for having me, everybody.
Wow.
Taffy, thank you for being here as always. You're the best replacement Tom we've ever had. You might as well just be Tom now. I don't know.
No, that's an insult to Taffy.
No, I want to be Tom.
No one wants to be Tom.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.